How y'all doing? How y'all doing? I need to pray for. I do this live, Lord. Please help the mentally and emotionally unstable get over me reviewing a couple videos. Again, I say, please, Lord, help the emotional unstable understand that we just reviewing video because I said that it was wrong, in my opinion, to laugh at somebody who got unalived. Just like I think it was wrong when people was doing that to George Floyd. Just like the person who rode through Charlie Kirk's candlelight visual. I think TJ going off right now. Dang. Well, I'm not getting into that foolishness they got going on. I'm over here talking about some current event. But so I was trying to figure out why was I being attacked so much for saying that people should be able to communicate whatever they want without being disrespected. And the thing that I don't get right is that the thing I don't get is that Charlie Kirk believed in nonviolence and Martin Luther King believed in nonviolence. So I thought we was all for people being nonviolent. But for some reason, I guess he said some things that made a lot of black folks say shit. But I was ambushed by what the dude was saying because I didn't hear Charlie Kirk say none of this stuff. I don't watch. I'm not a watcher of Charlie Kirk. The only clips I've seen of Charlie Kirk, to be honest with you, is when he was up there with Candace on. So I could be honest about that. What's up now? So I could be honest about that. I'm not acting like I was some advocate Charlie Kirk fan, but that aside, I still don't think somebody should get unalive for their viewpoint and what they think. And just because the person happened to be white, I don't think I got to cheer and make sure that I say, "Ooh, I don't care," or "Ooh, that's white people business." I don't think I got to be disrespectful like that. Even Dr. Umar Johnson, Ifa Tunde, this is why I will always be an independent because these Democrat son bitches want you to have the same brain they got. And it's weird to me. Dr. Umar say don't even date white women. Fine as they is, he say don't even date them. Don't even have sex with them. Snow bunnies never. He say snow bunnies never, black queens forever. He won't marry one, make her a black queen, but he say that now. Now when he say that, I guess that means that he's pro-black. So now they mad at Dr. Umar Johnson because he said one thing that was different than his normal snow bunnies never. A guy that didn't divest, didn't change his viewpoint, because when George Floyd passed away, he said the same shit. When anybody passes away and they're being mocked, Umar Johnson says the same exact thing. But when Charlie Kirk happens to be white, they said Umar Johnson done chose the wrong side. I said, damn. Umar Johnson said that you shouldn't mock Charlie Kirk. And now black folks saying you still ain't gonna get another dollar punk. Where the school at? But I'm not here to fight and argue about a man I don't know. But what I am gonna do now is I'm gonna start going over these videos and try to figure out why so many people don't like them. Because I do believe this is right along the lines of what I've been saying on my YouTube page for the entire time. A lot of gems that I put out. This situation describes it all. It's all about protecting the group. Come to find out, they say this young man has a transgender boyfriend. one that was a boy and turned into a female. Again, we're not watching behavior. We're trying to protect the sacredity of the niceness of said group. If that is true, they wouldn't want to put that out there because they would not want nobody to know that because they got it out here as if these people are just the nicest people in the world. And people are people, no matter who they decide to sleep with. There's good and bad people in every situation. So we gotta cover some of this stuff with Charlie Kirk because I don't understand. I think he does the same thing. He's like a white version of Thomas Sowell. He comes to you, he asks you to you talk, have a conversation, and he debate the ideals with you. And then 9 times out of 10, when you finish talking to him, you realize these little theories that they come up with don't hold up when they're being pushed back into public space. So what they do is they try to purchase 95% of the smart people in our world today. They're being purchased by a certain party. And the Democrats seem to be ruling with an iron fist. If you're on their side, then you can do no wrong. You can lie, you can join the church after you get caught, you can do whatever. But on the other side, they call you a racist, they call you a coon. It's always a name. And they get very disrespectful to you. They always ready to fight and kick your ass because somehow your words hurt them. You talk, they punch, but somehow you're the bad person. You say something, they say you attack them. I still don't understand how did very smart people allow people to say that you're attacking them over words when the definition has physical in it. I don't get it. I think academics did us a disservice by letting feelings take over. Kwame voiced it. App, what did it say? App where users post comments and tag friends by voice. Collab. I'll cut you in on the profits. If app blows up, let's connect. You said the app is called Voice It. How do I get in contact with you? You can email me at buslifebiz@gmail.com and then I'll get the email sent over to me. But this is a shame. This is why they stopped having open forum dialogues because people got to see that these people can't even stand up under the pressure in front of somebody. They yell, they shout, they're very emotional, they get triggered easy. And it's like little children. So when you put them up against people in real time, people get to see, yeah, nobody behaves like this. So you don't got to watch behavior anymore. You just get up here and sound good over the internet, act like you love everybody over the internet, join a group that protects your bullshit behavior, and then you get protections of said group. You get to hide. It's like the mafia now. It's like the mafia now. Because that young man came up here and said Charlie Kirk hates black people, and he said some disparaging things about black people. And I was confused. I'm like, why is he saying this? Charlie Kirk got shot by a white person. Why is he making this a black thing? I didn't even know I was gonna stumble upon this. I was just trying to say we shouldn't disrespect the dead. Drill rappers shouldn't do it. Nobody should do it. But I didn't know I was gonna stumble upon this whole black white thing. So as I starting to look at the videos that they are calling this man hatred of black people, and then you're looking at some of these videos, and it's like, huh? And then I had somebody send me a video of what the young man was saying, and it turns out the young man was wrong about all of the things he said. Charlie disrespected the dead. I see. I need to find that video because see, everybody is telling me all of these different things when all I was saying is you shouldn't disrespect the dead. So if it turns out that he disrespect the dead, I'm not gonna change my stance because he did it. I'm still gonna say you shouldn't do it. Hey, I got the video where he said that, and in the context he said it, we're gonna talk about it. And I would like for you to come hit the link. I would like for you not to just have a sound bite of what somebody said or what somebody told you they said. Do what I did. Go actually find the video. Have people send you some video, because I found two videos, and I had a person sent me a video out the blue. Man, I got that bullshit light. I need to go get my other light. But hey, god damn, I can't get this motherfucker lit. I'm gonna say this lighter is out. And I gotta go find my Finn and Feather lighter. He didn't notice what? Yeah, it's like people can't hear no more, man. They listen for the sound bites. But I think we were gonna go debunk a lot of these narratives that they talking about. And I gotta ask black folks this. Let me ask you this. If somebody was standing in the line and you got your son and your daughter with you, right? And they say, with this pilot, when he was in aviation school, we had to lower the ratings of the test so that he can make a B in order for we to pass him. With this pilot right here, he was exceptional. He scored he was an overachiever. He had the highest marks. This guy is cool under pressure. When the weather gets bad, this guy is the best guy we've got. But he just happened to be white. And then the other person happened to be black. Would you say I would rather ride with the black person because they black? Or would you entrust your life and your children's life in the person that's better qualified for the job? Because the last time I checked, ain't no takebacks in an accident with the plane. And I think in that situation, Charlie Kirk was talking about the lawsuits that people had against the aviation. But we just gonna see. We're gonna see if he said what you said or if he said what I said. Because if given the choice, when me and my children step on a plane, I want the person that's scored off the Richter scale. I'm talking about I want the person that they ain't have to alter nothing for. I'm talking about the person that dreamed about it since he was 3. I don't give a damn if he was Japanese, Chinese, black, African, Nigerian, soot, black, Irish. I don't give a damn what color he is. If he the best of the best, that's who I want to get on the plane with. So if he said that, then I don't have a problem with what he said. If he said that, then I don't have a problem with what he said. Because now, yeah, I've been kind of doing my little research, and he was speaking against DEI. Salute to you, Al. Al was trying to point out Kirk was talking about the DEI pilots. So he wasn't talking about all black pilots. He's talking about the ones you're lowering the test and you're lowering the things for. If they lowered the aviation for them, then I would wonder if you could fly a plane too. Are you the person that they lowered the test so that you can fly this plane? Because had they not lowered the test scores, then they wouldn't have qualified to fly the plane. So I don't understand the outrage. It sounds like a logical question to me. It sounds like logic, facts over feelings, and most of us are moving in our feelings. So they're just moving with outrage and that hurt me, instead of the logical point of the fact that when somebody's life is on the line, you want the best of the best. And it's just as simple as that. If they lowered the standards, then they're gonna question whether you're qualified and capable enough to do your job. That's simple. I don't understand what's so hard. I don't understand what's so hard. We're looking for the outrage in everything someone says instead of looking for the through line and the logic. That's why we dumb. We're not looking for the through line and the logic in what somebody's trying to say. We looking for the outrage because that's all we are is emotion. Yeah, we looking for the outrage. It's like we can't talk no more without being outrageous. This shit's stupid. Let's not talk if you gotta be crying about everything somebody's saying. That sound fucking logical. Hey, did you pass this motherfucking test straight up, or did they let your ass in here up through the back door, through DEI? Sound pretty logical to me. If I got my child with me and my life in my hands, shit, what's wrong with you? Anytime we get on a plane or in a car, there's a percentage, there's a chance we're not gonna make it back home. So don't you want the best percentage possible to make it back home? I don't understand why is this up for debate. Why is this so hard of a concept to understand? When you step in a car, statistics say some of you don't make it back home. We all playing Russian roulette when we turn in that key. We don't know who it's gonna be. There's a certain amount of plane crashes every year or every so many years. So if you already know that this is inevitable, you want at least to have the best of the best so that those numbers don't increase. What's so hard about this here? The only reason they dropped test scores because they needed more pilots. It wasn't for race or DEI. Sounds good. I think they actually said they wanted it to go from like 8% to 50%. They needed aviation to have 50% black people in it. So that means no matter who was better qualified, you could have just signed up. That's like a goddamn job fair. Sign up. We need you. You ever flown before? No, don't worry. We'll teach you. Here goes some wings. Hold on, I gotta go get a new key. Excuse me. I gotta go get a new key, good people. I know it's running like shit. Shouldn't be shouldn't be doing all that smoking. But they wanted 50% black people. So you can't even tell Negroes facts no more. They wanted 50% black people hook up our goddamn crook. Yeah, I got my key. They always running with narratives. Yeah, they got these people brainwashed. But y'all can see why so many people is upset. It's because the media brainwashing. You got all these people saying the same thing, and all of what they saying is wrong. Hold on, y'all. Let me get up the elevator. What is that even? What are you talking about? Yeah, when the people say what Charlie Kirk said, they're talking about his talking points. So all I'm doing is saying that the things that they're saying about his talking points, they're taking it out of context. So what you're saying don't make any sense. Told you we haven't had a conversation in over 30 years, and I think Charlie Kirk was illustrating how that these institutions was not making your kid any smarter. These institutions wasn't creating smarter, brighter young minds. They was creating mindless robots who all think the same, who all get emotional and yelling and crazy the same. Because just think about it, guy. Charlie Kirk was a college dropout. And I say that with all due respect. Charlie Kirk, this man that the president and everyone knows, is a college dropout. And he went on these college campuses and kicked all their ass when it came to being poised and just having a conversation. That's what we're supposed to be about. All the scholars that you look up, they say that this scholar said this. This scholar said, how do you beat violence or some shit? Have more conversation. That's what all the scholars said. The people that were so-called smart. So Charlie Kirk did just that. He pulled up on you, didn't challenge you to a fight, pulled up on you and said, let's have a conversation around this subject matter. And did it in a way where most people just made a fool out themselves because they couldn't handle the facts of what he was saying because they were told a lie. And that's what happens when people have to come from behind their keyboards. Most of the people he spoke to was just upset and angry because they were misinformed. They could not believe what they were hearing because they've never been challenged. We living in a society now where people don't want to be challenged on their thoughts and ideas. They just want you to let them say whatever. I'm gonna start doing this shit. I'm gonna start walking up in the gym. I'm the strongest motherfucker in here. Right down in the record books of this gym, Kwame Brown, strongest motherfucker in here. And I ain't gonna touch a weight. You just gonna write it down because I said so. Because I feel like I'm the strongest motherfucker in here. And you not gonna tell me otherwise. And don't even talk to me about it and challenge me about it. Cause I cuss your motherfucking ass out. Cause I said I'm the strongest son of a bitch in here. That's the kind of logic they walking around with now. They don't want to show you shit. I'm the heavyweight champion of the world. I ain't never been in the damn boxing ring. But I'm the heavyweight champion of the world. Yes, I can box. I sure can. I ain't gonna tell you how I'm about. I can talk about it. I'm a jab, jab, right cross. Yeah. Jab, jab, right cross. I'm a win. But I ain't gonna box no goddamn body. I'm not gonna challenge what I'm saying. And you better not tell me what I'm saying is wrong. Oh, you racist, you a bigot, and you just don't like black people that know how to box. I'm gonna have some word for you. Cause I'm just gonna do nothing but I ain't gonna do nothing but talk. I ain't gonna prove a goddamn thing. You sound crazy. Where was it ever said pilot exams were altered or it is just a narrative? No, the pilot exam was lowered for DEI. I give you an opportunity. I'm gonna drop the link instead of you guys sitting in the chat being chat warriors. Charlie Kirk has a lot of context and a lot of information on the internet. If you have the video where these guys are saying what they're saying, and you guys can find the video that debunks what they're saying, send it to me or come up and play it because a lot of these people are misinformed. A lot of these people are saying things that they heard somebody else say. So come up here with the video, not a clip of him saying in full context what he was saying, so that we can get a better understanding. And then, if it's proven that what you say is wrong, be man or woman enough to calm down, say that you were wrong, and move on and have a different perspective. Don't still argue and go crazy and act like a 2 year old. Because I think once they put these narratives out, they got y'all hook, line, and sinking. It's like y'all don't ever want to come up off of it. I don't give a damn. I still don't like it. I emailed you coding live 100. Okay, bet. This shit is crazy, man. It's like people done been brainwashed, man. How you gonna be happy about shooting somebody that's talking? I mean, how is it a justification? How are people calling people coons for just saying it's wrong? How can you say it's wrong? How can Stephen Jackson say it's wrong for George Floyd and everybody is in agreement to say it's wrong for Charleston White and everybody do that to George Floyd, but then celebrate it doing to somebody else because they white? And it's like, what the fuck is wrong with y'all? I wasn't talking about no skin color. I'm saying it's wrong to celebrate that. That's it. White or black. Why the hell y'all bringing up the color? All right. Let me get rid of this. All right, let me get rid of that one. Yeah. All right, we on the computer now. Yeah, but robots. I can't be mad at you're a robot. I'm not gonna be able to change your mind, and I understand that, right? So I'm not here to argue about Charlie Kirk like I knew who this man was. What I'm here to do is illustrate that people don't know how to have a conversation no more. And because of this brainwashed media that we have, people don't know how to talk no more. They just get up, they just get all in their feelings and they just get upset. So shout out to my homie that sent me this video. This is one of the ones that I was speaking about. And this original content is Charlie Kirk's, but this YouTuber that I'm looking at is Dempsey Brown, Drumsy Brown, Dumsy. I don't know how to say it, but salute to the brother and R.I.P. Charlie Kirk. My condolences to the family. But I do like the fact that this man did pull up anywhere, anytime to have a conversation, and I like Thomas Sowell because he did that. I like Larry Elder because he used to do that. So I respect people that don't just sit and talk about what they talk about behind a computer and they go out and talk to people. And that's a skill to be these men can talk about any different topic. I can't talk about any different topic. I can stick to certain things, but any different topic. I'm putting everybody in my brainwashed emotional box. I'm sorry you feel that way. Well, you have a right to feel that way. But anyway, um, yeah. But these men debate. But let me show you what I'm talking about, and let's see how emotional these men get when confronted over their lives.
And if I see a black pilot, I'm gonna be like, boy, I hope he's qualified. Are you gonna do that?
Yeah, I mean that is correct. Yeah,
that's correct. Okay, so can we both agree?
What was the context of what I said though?
What was the context? I don't even want to get into DEI because your opinion on DEI it doesn't really help it in this case. So, if the context between what you brought up was that.
See, this is when I knew this guy was pushing an agenda. If you're gonna bring up what somebody says, then it's a fair point when he said, "Yes, I said it," and he's owning up to it. Didn't run from it. But then he asks, do you know the context and why I was saying it? And context is everything. That's the reason why you ask a question. That's the reason why you don't get upset. Because if you got to know the context and what somebody means by what they're saying in order to even know what the fuck you're mad at. So you're going to ask this man a question and then say, nope, it don't even matter because I don't like the way you say DEI, what you think about DEI. The context matters. You should have let him get it out.
Can we both agree?
What was the context of what I said though? Yeah, I mean,
black pilot. I'm gonna be like, boy, I hope he's qualified. Are you gonna do that?
Yeah, I mean that is correct. Yeah,
that's correct. Okay, so can we both agree?
What was the context of what I said though?
What was the context? I don't even want to get into DEI because your opinion on DEI it doesn't really help it in this case. So. If the context between what you brought up was that you believe that
because they were being hired because they were black.
Okay, so can we both agree that every single pilot, whether black, white, whoever, has to go through FAA certification?
No, actually, new lawsuit shows that black pilots and female pilots have the standards being relaxed.
No, sir. Can we agree at the time of February 29th or 2023 when you said it at the time? No,
actually, I said it. That's why you don't know the context. Is that new lawsuits were showing that they were relaxing the standards for air traffic control and pilots in order to meet the standards.
The context.
All right, Charlie Kirk put out some information. The information that he said in return, he said they put out lawsuits. Now what you can do is see if there's ever any lawsuits out against the aviation or anything like that. And it should be an article that go along with that. And if that's true, then it should be facts over feelings. Then it should be nothing to be mad at Charlie Kirk about. But if you're not going to go look that up, if you're not going to go dig for the information to see, it's not about not believing him. You can literally go look it up. Type in a Google search to see if it was any lawsuits with the aviation or anything like that within the last 10 years. If there was, look at yourself in the mirror and say, I should not be mad at facts. Facts are truth. So I should not be upset. What is wrong with me for being mad at facts? I need to pinch myself and wake up. Because facts don't change because you in your feelings. Okay? Pinch yourself. You're dreaming. If you're putting your feelings over facts. Just look the shit up before you get offended by what somebody say. If it's not facts, then you come up here with it instead of calling somebody a name and saying that I'm a dummy. Because now I'm going to call you a name, you big-nosed dummy yourself. Because why am I a dummy for telling somebody to look it up? That was actually smart, you frog-faced clown. You just came up here with an ad hominem attack because your punk ass didn't want to look it up for yourself. You want somebody to do it for you. See, you always want to bicker, holler, and cuss and fuss instead of just looking the shit up because you want to act pro-black, you with your little dumb ass. I got an open link. I said I'm going to drop the link where you can find it so you can disprove it, but you'd rather argue. So get your dumb ass out this chat, nigga. I ain't come up here to argue with no niggas. If your stupid ass ain't got the mental capacity to do what the fuck we asked is just to look it up, so that there's no feelings involved, then get your punk ass out my chat. No evidence linking DEI to safety issues. Recent claims trying DEI hiring to accidents. The DC crash or fact check and found false. Well, we already know that all of these things get found false in the beginning. Damn near everything Trump said was found false in the beginning. And what do you know? Look what happened. They found out that damn near everything Trump was saying was right. So if they control the information, I think John Mayer put this in the song. If they can control the information, they can bend it all they want. So don't fall for the fool's gold. Salute to you, beautiful one, but appreciate the super chat nevertheless.
Of that was diversity, equity, and inclusion. What does that have to do with hiring?
Everything. DEI definitionally is that we will hire more of a race versus a different race. So, for example, United Airlines said that they want 50% of their new pilots to either be women or black.
Okay.
Currently, just so you understand, it's like 8%. So they want to go from 8% pilots to more of a race versus a different race. So, for example, United Airlines said that they want 50% of their new pilots to either be women or black.
Okay.
Currently, just so you understand, it's like 8%.
All right. United Airlines. Now, it's another thing you can look up to see if you should be mad at Charlie Kirk. You should be able to look up an article that says United Airlines said that they wanted 50% of their people to be black. If they did say that, then that would be a justification for anybody to start saying, are you one of those hires that just got on because you black? Even I would ask that question. So now, what do? You put your big boy drawers on. You put your big girl panties on. And you don't insult someone. You just get your Google. We all got smartphones. Stop acting dumb and use your mobile device. Look it up. United Airlines, 50% black, and see what comes up. Trying to teach you how to have a conversation instead of just insulting people, because that shit is annoying.
So they want to go from 8% to 50%.
Okay.
And every time DEI is implemented, every single time, the lowering of standards occurs. Every single time.
Lowering of standards?
Correct. So can I prove it to you? We both want excellence, right?
Okay.
If you and I said, hey, we want 50% of the new people going in the NBA are white.
Okay.
Would the NBA drop in its standard?
No.
Nigga, get your dumb ass off the stage. See, this one I get mad right here. This fool has got to be slow as I don't know what. Boy, do you know what happened when they integrated basketball, boy? When they had the basketball segregated and they were dribbling all low to the ground, dribbling in circles and shit because they couldn't go behind their back and dunk up on the free throw line and throw alley-oops from the goddamn half court, you clown. Don't you know when they put Michael Jordan and Dr. J and all these guys on the court, basketball went through the goddamn on roof, you clown? Don't you know if they bring DEI back to basketball and they make it 50%, don't you know that just by common knowledge and facts that there's going to be some basketball players that are black that's going to be better than the guys that get the job that's white? So that's why we would ask, and probably all the black people would be saying, hey, look here, man, them ain't the best players in the game. The best players over here, they won't let them in because they black, because this is white EI. They doing that white EI shit where they just letting white boys in, that white EI. Come on, man, it's just common sense. This boy up here is so oblivious to common sense. This boy said, no, the NBA wouldn't drop if they make it 50% white and it's 75% black. This nigga crazy.
Okay.
If you and I said, hey, we want 50% of the new people going in the NBA are white.
Okay.
Would the NBA drop in its standard?
No.
No.
The National Basketball
League,
League,
no, if we said 50%, if we say
if 50% of the NBA drops and it was only white.
No, I said
would the standard go down?
I'm not hearing what I'm saying. If 50% of all new people going in the NBA were white, by decree, would the quality of play of the NBA decrease?
Would the quality of play in the NBA decrease?
Yeah.
No, if they're the same standard of basketball play.
Hold on, let's
How the hell they gonna be the same standard of basketball player? They white. It's already proven we've been running faster, jumping high, and dunking and shit. What is wrong with you, man? You that blind to the facts that you just can't let a fact be right. God, all numbers and all data say when they integrated basketball, they got a few guys. They got Larry Bird. They got Luka. I don't even know if Luka is the white American, but they only got a few Cooper flags. And they get behind them and they support them like their life depended on it. Because they know damn well it ain't many of them. So you need to cut this out, buddy.
Talk realistic.
What are you saying realistically? You're asking me if
75% of the NBA is black. 75%.
So does that mean white players are less better, or does that mean
whites are not as good at basketball as blacks?
Okay.
I mean,
damn, even Charlie Kirk said that. Now, why ain't no white people outraged? Why ain't J.J. Redick and all the white players falling on the goddamn ground crying and telling Charlie Kirk he hate his own kind? Man, there should be people rioting in the streets because he stated a fact. He said his black people are better. Hell, all of the people that they saying are the GOATs of the game are black. It's debatable. Bill Russell, Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, LeBron James, the list go on, but everybody black at that top list. I don't understand this here boy here. He's talking about Kurt Rambis. Hey, man, y'all leave my coach alone, man. Y'all leave my goddamn coach alone. Kurt Rambis cool as a man. Sorry, I got to make sure I get my water intake. You talking about why would they still have outrage because they control it? Because we have outrage over everything. That was the point. You just goddamn. It's hard for some of y'all to get a simple point. But okay. Y'all says y'all ain't listening. Y'all trying to debate some damn body. Instead of just listening and saying fair point, I understand what you're saying. You niggas just want to debate every damn body. Cool. It was a bad point. That's your opinion, bro. We can still move forward. I don't understand how it was a bad opinion when all numbers say that I'm right. But hey, all numbers say that I'm right. That the NBA increased when they integrated black players. And it would drop exponentially. You take away LeBron, Kobe, you take away the next LeBron, the next Kobe. They searching for the next one. But okay, you right, man.
All right, we got some big. Everybody, calm down.
We got some big exceptions. I mean, we're very proud of Larry Bird. Okay,
no, he's good.
We're very proud of Luka and Nikola. However, the point being, let's implement DEI in the NBA. Okay. If all of a sudden 50% of all the players have to be white, which means they have to say no to otherwise good black players.
You know there was a time where this happened, right?
Well, no, of course, and the league wasn't as good. That's the point.
No, you understand that there was a time where the exclusion of African American players was in the NBA, right?
No, for sure. I acknowledge that. And
boy, motherfuckers that's dumb always got to act like they teaching somebody something. That's why he said that, fool. Because we can look at the time when there was no black players allowed in the league. We can see the ratings. We can see the likability. We can see the popularity of the game. We can see the difference. What is wrong with this dude? Golly, something wrong with this motherfucker here, boy. You know that there was a time for basketball that there was exclusion of black people, right? Duh.
The league got better as blacks were allowed in.
Did it get better, or did we just integrate ourselves in?
Well, hold on. No, but
the players in the league averages around that time weren't worse. We just got better.
Hold on. Do you actually think that? Why is it that 75% of the NBA is black
right now?
Yeah.
I mean, well, it was a certain point around 1965 where a law passed where we can actually.
Why is it that 75% of the NBA is black?
Because we integrated into the league.
No, because the best players are allowed to play in the NBA.
Well, actually, the best players in the NBA are European born. Well, they're not even African American.
I mean, a couple of them are. As I said, we're very proud.
No, we're very integrated within sports. But what does that prove?
It proves that the NBA is not built on DEI. It's built on excellence.
The NBA isn't proof. So when you mention DEI, you're now saying that it's.
You obviously don't know what DEI is. DEI.
I know what DEI is. You're not giving me a proper explanation.
DEI is racial quotas.
Racial quotas.
Yes. You've never heard of DEI.
Yes, it's racial quotas. So he made that point so that if we do the white EI, which is going forward, you got to have 50% of the league white. That means some of the black players that are better than these white guys would lose their spot because of white EI. You know what I mean? If we do a white EI in the league goes down. Ain't nobody going to watch. I ain't finna watch a bunch of motherfuckers running around here barely can block a shot, dunk on a motherfucker. I ain't watching. Nah.
DEI before. So do you know what a racial quota is? You have to have a certain amount of a certain race. That is what United Airlines did. Mm-hmm. We must get to 50% of our pilots to be black or women. Okay. Therefore, if the NBA said 50% of our players have to be white, I guarantee you, we could try to get as many Serbs and Croats as possible. It's not going to make the NBA the best league. Instead, the NBA has a policy of which the NBA and the FAA and the United Airlines should have the same policy. It doesn't matter the color of your skin. It matters how good you are at what you do. So excellence matters.
Wait. Okay. So what you're saying?
Man, that was so hurtful right there, boy. I'm trying to figure out what everybody's so mad at. What did he say that was so offensive? I'm just trying to figure out what the hell was the offense. The man illustrated a very good point. If you think about it from an NBA standard, if you say you got to have a certain amount of white players, would that increase the value of the NBA or would it drop it? It would drop it. The man didn't even finish college, but he got more logic, more peace in his heart than this dude who think that he's, somehow so smart.
Everybody's good. So what you're saying is the NBA
is a great example.
No, it's a bad example because in the example that I gave you, I said when you say a black or female pilot might be less qualified because of DEI, what you're implying is that they didn't earn their spot.
Correct, they didn't because that's what DEI does.
That's what you're implying.
Because
if you notice, the reason why he don't make no sense is because he's reading off of his phone, so he can't even go in depth with his talking point because he's not convicted by what he's saying. So he's really not well versed in what he's saying. So he's reading off of his phone. Charlie Kirk is just talking to him. He believes in what he's saying. He's just reading little talking points or little messages that he got from somebody on his phone.
You're there because of the quota, not because of excellence.
Does DEI give you the opportunity because of who you are, or does it open up access?
No, it gives it because of literally the color of your skin.
Charlie, you are quoted by saying that, guys, Charlie.
Everyone knows the quote because it's true. When you hire somebody,
true?
It's true because they're there not because of their merit, but because of a racial quota. Why is it that only 8% of pilots right now for United Airlines are black or female?
It's actually 3%.
Oh, that proves my point even more.
No, it doesn't. It's guys, DEI is the reason why they're not in these positions. But it's because they're
man, you are making no sense at all.
That's cool.
No, explain to me what
equity and inclusion is.
Explain to me what a racial quota is.
Diversity, equity, and inclusion is the reason as to why accesses are now open to certain races.
Hold on, can a black person not become a pilot before DEI?
What are you saying? Was it equal opportunity or was it equal access?
But
was it equal opportunity? Was it equal access?
It's equal. Both.
It's both.
Yes,
it's equal opportunity. I could not go to college in 1964 with a free ride, free paid tuition, but you could, Charlie.
Hold on,
are y'all just forgetting that the last 50 years?
Hold on. This is
crazy.
That's crazy. How does that impact you? And wait, do you have a free ride right now?
Do I have a free ride right now?
Yeah.
I go to school.
Who pays your tuition?
Who pays my tuition?
Yeah.
I don't want to share that on.
You just said you had a free ride.
I don't want to.
Wait, hold on.
I said in 1964.
No. So it's 2025. Let's stay focused on today.
So in 2025, even with equal opportunity and open access,
it's not.
That's what diversity, equity, and inclusion is. It opened up access for people like me to get these opportunities.
But so someone has to pay for your college. Who's paying for it?
You're saying someone has to pay for my college?
Yeah. So taxpayers are paying for
my college. Deposit the money into the bank right now.
Well,
show me your bank account.
No, he didn't turn around and say deposit the money into my account right now. No, he didn't say deposit the money in my account right now. Did he say so? The man asked him a logical question. So you got a scholarship. So you got a free ride. Who do you think is paying for your college? He said, huh? He said, show me your account right now. Kwame, thanks for your insight. Charlie Kirk is too effective at debates, and those people start to use common sense. And once they use common sense, the mind virus starts to weaken. Yeah, man, salute. Never finish. Man, this is crazy, man. This was crazy. This man making a fool out of himself up here.
Hey, Francis.
Wait,
Charlie Kirk.
This is a publicly funded institution. but
the publicly funded institution. We are one of the it's top three. ISU, University of Illinois Champaign, and the University of Illinois Chicago. 3 schools, universities that are getting funded more than other universities in Chicago. So yes, we do get funded more. Yes, I'm well more access to get a free ride. But what if I went to Chicago State University?
Right.
See, this is why they talk over you and don't let you talk, because they only want to spew out a bunch of talking points. They don't want to sit and have a conversation. They want to spew out a bunch of talking points to make you look bad, that they're not even going to let you defend what they claim you said. If you claim someone said something, you should allow them to clear up, redirect, change, or whatever or stand on it and explain it to you. They're not supposed to be scolding you. They're supposed to be letting you ask you why you said what you said. Am I trying to get back in good graces with the devil? I'm going to drop the link. Explain to me why you said that, or you got to go. I want to know what part of what I'm saying sound like I'm trying to get in good graces with the devil. I didn't know white people were the devil, but in your opinion, white people are the devil, and I got to be trying to get back in good grace with them. Didn't know I fell out of grace or needed grace from white people, but I would like for you to hit the link, or you got to go. TikTok. Matter of fact, hold on. Matter of fact, I'm going to just go ahead and ban you. The link is in the chat. So if you hit the link, then I'll let you back in my chat. But if not, ain't no place for no stupid nigga like you in here. That's just being all the way real with you.
Would I get a free ride then?
I wouldn't recommend anyone goes to Chicago State.
Why not? Why not?
It's a terrible school.
Well, Charlie, are they funded?
I don't know the specifics.
You don't know the specifics.
It's not exactly a reputation of a great school.
I can tell you, Illinois State.
It is not a funding
Illinois
issue.
State gets 92% of funding in the.
Yeah, they want a monologue, not a dialogue. Yeah, and that's all they want to do. Notice how he redirected the whole conversation from "Were you getting a free ride?" He didn't want to answer that question. He didn't want to answer, "Are you getting a free ride?" He talked about who getting the most funding. We know how funding is controlled. Funding is controlled by a lot of factors. Who's buying the homes? Huh? Where's your tax base? They're going to get the money based on the tax base. So come on now. Good job, sellout. You're going to gain a lot more white followers. Look at Kwame join the Go Along, Get Along gang. And so what does that have to do with what we're talking about up here? That's your opinion. You didn't have to. This nigga paid me $5 so his opinion can be highlighted. That's how emotional he is for being blocked. Instead of just being able to move on about his day, he paid $5 for his comment to be highlighted. And I guess that's what I got you. We're going over trying to figure out why are people so upset with this man, because I don't know Charlie Kirk. I didn't even give my synopsis yet. The video is not even over. I haven't even told you what I thought, but up so far, I don't see what is everybody's so outraged about. I don't. You cooning, bro? Okay, if you don't hit the link and tell me how I'm cooning, then you gotta go, bro. As simple as that. You Negroes that can't articulate yourself and tell us what's wrong. If all you got is an attack like cooning, then I don't give a shit. Just leave. Don't be around what you think is a coon. All right?
State of Illinois for universities, for public universities. Chicago State gets basically none, virtually none. So
okay, great.
What you're saying is it was open up access. What I'm presenting to you is that the access that I was allowed.
Okay, so what do you mean by access? What
do I mean by access?
How do black people not have access to a better life in America? What's preventing them?
What's preventing black people from having a better life in America?
Yes. What's preventing them?
Police.
Oh, hold on. No. Police. How many unarmed black?
This nigga saying, he asked them how. Oh my God, this nigga said police is stopping black folks from making it. Golly. This is a can't do nigga. This ain't a can do nigga here, boy. He can, man, golly.
Police.
Oh.
What's preventing black people
Yes.
from having a better life in America?
Yes. What's preventing them?
Police.
Oh, hold on. No.
But Nigerians can come over here and they darker than us and come over here and kick ass and make money. Some of them scamming like a motherfucker. But there's still some Nigerians that come over here and do good work, and great business. This nigga say the police is keeping him from doing a good job. Got to be more careful.
Police. How many unarmed black men die? How many unarmed black men die on the hands of police every year? Nationally.
Black? Are you serious?
How many?
Charlie Kirk, we're talking about something.
How many? No, you just said police. How many unarmed black men die at the hands of police every year?
Did I say that is the reason?
You
why
just said police.
Policing is an issue.
You're right. We don't have enough police on the streets of black neighborhoods.
The police department is way more funded than our normal.
What is the number one cause of black death in Chicago?
Are you serious?
Other blacks killing blacks.
Are y'all saying other blacks?
Yes.
Other blacks?
Who's killing the blacks from Chicago? A bunch of kids from Highland Park.
What the hell is he yelling for? He said other blacks? Where he come from? Where did he come from? Nigga, you can get on Instagram and follow your favorite rapper. You can see who's killing the ones in Chicago. They'll tell you. Them niggas get on Instagram and say up one. Them niggas write songs, say we done up the score on you niggas. They talking like they shooting basketball and they talking about dropping bodies. Nigga, we up the score on you niggas. Nigga, we up one. Ain't none of our people get hit, nigga. We up one, nigga. But he over here acting like he don't know that. Talking about blacks. This fake ass outrage in front of white people. Blacks, what? Blacks. Man, you need your ass whooped. And I guess I'm a coon because I could hear you niggas talk about killing each other like it's Hunger Games. Come on, man. Stop the press, man.
Number one cause of black in the streets of black neighborhoods.
The police department is way more funded than our normal.
What is the number one cause of black death in Chicago?
Are you serious?
Other blacks killing blacks.
Are y'all saying other blacks?
Yes.
Other blacks?
Who's killing the blacks from Chicago? A bunch of kids from Highland Park?
22% Hispanic. That's very, very, very broad. Where are those locations at? Where are those locations at? You're saying East Garfield? You've never been to East Garfield in your life.
Yes, I went once and I'll never return.
You're from East Garfield? You've never been to East Garfield in your life.
Tell me very clearly.
We're saying who is
killing the blacks in Chicago? Who is killing them?
Of 1,000 African Americans, who you're taking statistics from communities.
Who is killing? No, I want to have a conversation with you.
What did you expect, Charlie?
Who is killing them?
Who is killing African Americans?
Yes.
People are killing people.
No. What race is killing them?
Why are y'all trying to act like African Americans are just solely murdered? People are killing people.
No. What race is killing? Is it white people killing blacks or blacks killing blacks?
People are killing people, Charlie.
Okay, but hold on. What race is killing
the other race? What race is killing what race more? That does not matter.
It does matter because it's a black on black problem. And blacks need to solve the problem of black on black violence.
Is it a black on black problem or is it a crime problem?
It's a black on black problem that is a crime problem because
this boy gonna make a great Democrat politician. This shit is crazy. The man is telling you straight up facts, and this nigga talking about man, this is some crazy shit, man. I ain't never seen nothing like this in my life. Hold on, I gotta give somebody a rent. Hold on.
I'll tell you what, if it was a bunch of kids from Deerfield coming in with guns, it would be a white problem. But somehow, if it was a black on black problem, it's a crime problem. It's systemic injustice. The police is not enough funding.
What you're saying is, Charlie, you're forgetting that these locations that you're bringing up are secluded by these races. So these races might have an easier time with policing, and they're going to have nearly response time of 2 seconds.
Wait, it's the police's fault that so many blacks are killing other blacks?
Who just said that?
You did.
I said that?
Yes. No, I want you to tell me, why is it that black Americans are 13% of the population, yet they commit 55% of the murders?
Where can you show me that?
Again, it's FBI statistics. It's well known.
FBI statistics. Where can you show me that at?
Again, it is.
Can you give me
ask ChatGPT? Ask Grok.
Why would I ask ChatGPT when ChatGPT?
So, I had a young man the other day said that Charlie Kirk said it was 70%. What I found out today is that Charlie Kirk said 54%, which sounded more like the truth. And this young man read in the chat that somebody said white people 70%. Kwame on the white side. I didn't know there was a black side and a white side. We trying to figure out what was actually said and why are people so outraged. So please stop classifying me as a side. Okay? Thank you. That's what you subscribe to, not me. I subscribe to the truth and the facts over your feelings. And I can't help it that you're getting in your feelings about us looking up and going over what is right and what was said and what's true and what's not. If the facts of what someone said and not what you were manipulated to believe, if you can't come out and say you were wrong about being manipulated, then that's on your sensitive ass, okay? But what he actually said was different than what the young man came up on my panel and said. Yes, it was totally different. He said 54%. This other man said 70%.
Where can you show me that?
Who did? I said that? Yes. No, but no,
Please.
I want you to tell me, why is it that Black Americans are 13% of the population, yet they commit 55% of the murders?
Where can you show me that?
Again, it's FBI statistics. It's
FBI
well known.
statistics. Where can you show me that at?
Again, it is.
Can you give me
Ask Chat.
He said it was FBI statistics. So go to the FBI website, FBI database, and see if you can find it. If not, see if somebody sent it to you. It's very simple.
GPT, ask Grok.
Why would I ask ChatGPT when ChatGPT has shown? Prove it. What?
Prove it. Again, anyone near you can show you the stats, right? It's right there. Look. Man.
Let's read it. 70% of offenders were African American. Wait, pull it back up. Boo, yeah. Charlie, for the sake of my.
So he said, he read from the chat, GPT, that it was 70%. So he was wrong about everything he said. Charlie just trying to have a conversation about facts and logic. He wants to argue. This is what people call an attack. This is why people are up in arms. This is what they call an attack. If what he's saying hurts your feelings, they call it an attack. If what he's saying goes against what you believe, they call it an attack. Now, let me show you a demonstration of another person that goes at this brother, and he, to me, he dismantled these people. Like, to me, he run through all of these people's talking point. And I think he touched on something in the recent months about these mass shootings. And what he touched on was that a lot of these new shootings were of the transgender community. This is what he alleged. This is what he said. And instead of people being able to talk about it, it seemed like they said, fuck that. So I'm scared of anybody that think I'm offending them. I apologize and I'm sorry. I'm just doing research and trying to figure out why is everybody upset? Why was everybody upset with this person? And because I don't know much about Charlie Kirk. So therefore, when this much and the president goes around and talks about this person and everybody is so outraged about this person, it's making me intrigued to know more about this person. So don't try to make it like I'm taking a side. Don't try to make it like, oh, he's Charlie Kirk. I'm learning. You haven't seen me play a Charlie Kirk video ever. So I'm learning Charlie Kirk as you learn Charlie Kirk. And I haven't found what he said in the last video to be anything I need to be outraged about. So let's see why people are so upset. I told you people haven't had a conversation in the last 30 years. And I think Charlie Kirk has been doing the business of proving that. This content is from Resist the Mainstream. I like that title. But the original content is Charlie Kirk. And a lot of these videos, when I research, they come up on other people's YouTube for whatever reason. But let's get up into it under fair use. And if you notice, a lot of these people, I'm not going to assume what this person, identifies as. But a lot of these type of people seem to want to talk to Charlie Kirk and come up here and go at Charlie Kirk. So they're willingly going to do this. So let's see.
Doge and some of the
Quick, we've done it like 5 or 6 times.
And about some of these like hirings and some of the unconstitutional moves they've been making. I don't like to be more useful here. When your claim is that you're trying to like make the government more efficient. And
all right, another guy that super chat because he went too far in the chat and got blocked. He super chat $4.99 say, who shot President Trump? Who shot Charlie Kirk? And what was the purpose of HBCU Civil Rights Act 1964? Kirk was against it, KB. So he deserves to be shot. Whip the effing dude that he was against something that got passed anyway. Who cares? And I gave you an opportunity to come up here and play the video in full context, and you didn't take that route. So how can I believe what you're saying? When you can come up here and play a video that showed me what you're talking about. All you had to do was say, I got the link. That's he right here. Let me show you what he's talking about.
and you arbitrarily fire a bunch of people. Like for example, for the nuclear people, there were a bunch of them were fired, and then they had to get them back. You're wasting time and effort by randomly and arbitrarily picking how to handle these cases. If your claim is that you want to be efficient, you should just go up and immediately start firing people. You have to go over this with a lot more methodical effort, and that's not what's happening. And on top of that, the Doge administration is not save enough money. Even if you were to fire every single government employee, they would not even be able to get to a fraction of how much revenue we need to get for taxes. That's not enough, and it's not helpful.
No, I mean, I have when you go placards.
Sorry. And when you go over those placards, you can flash them and say that like
I mean, it's $115 million for equity assessment programs. That's a lot of money.
No, it does not. And with regards compared to
not a lot of money
compared to how much we need for to run the country.
Hold on, this is a very important point.
We need to use we're talking about scale here. About $2.6 trillion of revenue comes from our income taxes. If you're going to make these cuts, you need to meaningfully account for them.
This is a false argument. I'm glad you're making it. Yeah. Which is that so then we shouldn't cut it because it's not that big of a deal.
No, that's not what I mean.
So should we cut this? $115 million for equity assessment of existing program policies.
The point is that
I'm going to make the point, but do you think this should be cut?
It depends. You need to make the argument that it's actually.
This guy, they can't even answer one question. You come up here with all this fast talking, won't even listen, over talking. When are you gonna let the man answer the question? When are you gonna answer one of his questions?
Actually good. You can't just flash the dollar.
I'm going to flash
and then say
equity assessments of existing program policies. $115 million.
Yes, you have to justify that this program is helpful or not. You have to justify the existence of the program.
Yes, it should not exist.
Why? Why does it not exist?
Well, first of all, the president signed an executive order saying no more DEI. Okay. Equity assessment should have no place in the U.S. government because equity is not constitutional. It's not the U.S. Constitution. It's not American value.
I've heard this exact same ridiculous argument about, it's not that much to justify the continued ridiculous United States involvement in Russia's war with Ukraine. It doesn't make any sense, all right? Then let's just endlessly apply the logic. Spend millions on this, billions on that. It doesn't matter. It's whatever. Who cares? And keep in mind, this guy's arguing that millions and millions of dollars of waste isn't a big deal. The Ukraine war is hundreds of billions of dollars of waste, and people still make that freaking argument. Well, the U.S. government spends trillions and trillions anyways. So who
save taxpayer money? Now, to your point, redistribution
in a justified manner, not the other way around. Burden of proof. Very simple concept.
About redistribution, and $115 million is a grotesque amount of money to spend on it. So you should get rid of it to save taxpayer money. Now,
it's not
to your point,
taxpayer money.
It's $115 million to get rid of this. Now, it's also $144 million here of empty buildings. How about empty buildings?
Again, you can't just say empty building. You have to go over a detail.
No, we did. That's why there's 97 of them. They reviewed the leases. Yes. They're vacated because of COVID. That's $144 million. So right here, I have $330 million. We're going to keep going, right?
Yeah, you can keep doing that. No, but you have to actually just justify why the policies are helpful or not.
This is what's interesting.
You can say how much they cost.
Hold on
a second. If they do something useful for the government, then their prices make sense.
They're empty buildings. What use is happening for them other than landlords getting rich for nothing? The point is this: you think the government is innocent until proven guilty. I think the government, after what we've learned, is guilty until proven innocent. They have to justify why this money is being spent in the first place.
Wait a minute. That's how the law works. Innocent until proven guilty. You have to prove that.
That's not how taxpayer money works, though. It's that if we find waste, you're going to have to over-justify why this exists in the first place.
Yeah, Secondly, but you just fire them. You just get rid of the program automatically before you've done the work.
Let me go back to one more thing. This is an argument they're making. Oh, it's not that much money. Even if you only save $100 in taxpayer money, that is a moral fight worth having. That attitude is why we're $35 trillion in debt. Secondly, which is very important, if you annualize Doge's savings, you know how much they're on pace to save this year? $1 trillion. $1 trillion, which would then get us on path for a balanced budget. They're on pace because you say, oh, it's only $1 billion here. They've been in for 6 weeks. They've already saved $100 billion. By December, they'll be at $1 trillion. Our deficit is $1.6 trillion. We're going to lower our deficit in such an increasingly important way. And you're going to learn that you actually don't need these government agencies to run a country, that these people are unnecessary. It's bloated. These bureaucrats don't do anything all day long. And we need to right size it because we're a nation in debt. We know we're $35 trillion in debt.
Yes.
In debt.
Yes.
And the only way we're going to get out of it is if we're honest, be like, how about no more empty buildings? No more $115 for equity assessment.
The way we get out of it is by
biodiversity in Nepal, $19 million.
Again, those can be important. You have to those can be helpful.
What does this guy even know about Nepal? You know, this ridiculous.
This dude act like he a genius. Oh yeah, it could be helpful. Oh, it could be waste. It could be waste. Look at him. He keep coming in here saying the same thing. Boy, this guy right here is so emotional. We gotta be careful. We might need to put the feds on King Mike. This guy is so emotional that he can't allow me, a content creator, I've told what I was doing. I'm going over a story, reacting to a man that I don't know, going over the videos and doing a live reaction. And this man is almost scaring me like he threatening me now. I need to make sure I get this Negro IP address. Because I don't understand, if you're so uncomfortable about me reviewing a video, then all you got to do is log off. You've made 3 or 4 profiles to come back to say the same exact thing. Now, if you're that emotionally charged, my brother, I suggest you just go watch the boxing fight that's about to come on, brother. Go watch the prelims. Do something that's better served of your time than to try to argue with someone that's trying to review a video that's not saying any of the things that you pumping yourself up with. I'm just reacting to a video, brother. I'm not selling out. I'm not a coon. I'm not a divester. I suggest you fix your relationship with your kids. I think anybody should have a great relationship with their kids. Thank you for the advice. Don't know how that's related to this story, though, but I think that's a great suggestion. Are you okay, my friend? Jesus Christ. This nigga is big mad. And this is why Trump won the election. You have so many emotional, unhinged people that if you don't think the way they think, that if you just go over a video, that this man is holding up statistics that you can look up, that you're sending all this money to abandoned buildings and research that don't make no sense and do not benefit the tax base, then you should not be doing it. And this guy wants us to go off of where it could be beneficial. Like, you guys need to stop. I don't know you, brother. You don't know me. We don't have to insult each other to disagree. I thought you were an adult, but I see right now you're not. I see you not an adult.
Ridiculous program. It reminds me of the shrimp on the treadmill. You remember that? They spent about, okay, in an argument.
Examine the expenditure $1 million for a new Sesame Street in Iraq. It's true. You guys can look it up. $20 million for new Sesame Street in Iraq. How could biodiversity in Nepal for $19 million? We spent $20 million for a new Sesame Street in Iraq.
United States taxpayers paid $20 million for Sesame Street in Iraq. What does that have to do with the United States when we got homeless military men and women, when we got homeless women on the streets, when we got prices for milk and stuff this high? How does that benefit anybody? And I'm a coon for saying I agree with this fact that he put up that we can all look up. That makes me a coon because somehow we supposed to, that's a black thing to build Sesame Street in Iraq. You niggas don't even know what you be mad at. I think white folks hold up little cue cards and say, niggas be mad. Like how they had the clappers when they at the audience, how they hold up the clappers. They hold up a little sign and say, niggas be mad. And you niggas get mad off nothing. Because how is that a black thing? And how would I be a coon or a Sambo if I'm saying that I agree with whatever color this person is? If he was black and he stated the facts that, hey, they built a Sesame Street in Iraq, I would say that's dumb as hell. But your prejudice ass is so caught up that the person who brought the facts is white that you can't even receive the facts, which thus proves the fact that I said that we haven't had a conversation in the last 30 years. People just hit you with attacks. People just yell and shout at you, talk about you need to go have a relationship with your kids. No, you need to tell their goddamn mama to get out my way. I'm about to take my daughter to school on Monday. Now, my other daughter, maybe not. I'm not having sex with her mama no more. You know what I mean? She too emotional. My other baby mom, she married, all kind of shit. So it ain't got nothing to do with me. So I still can see my child. But thank you, though. I do want a great relationship with all my children. You might want to write an email to their mama, though. Kwame, are you familiar with Clayton Bigsby? I sure am. Thank you for the super chat. People cheer when Kevin Samuels died. It's not a race thing. It's an ideology thing. Kirk and Samuels are the modern day MLK and Malcolm X. Thank you for saying that. Because I said it was wrong when they cheered when Kevin Samuels died. I even went the fuck off on goddamn old Leatherface Vivica Fox. So everybody cheered on when I was saying that. Now that the person is white that passed away, I guess I'm not down with the bros because my ideology is that you shouldn't pick on nobody that passed, if white or black. I guess because I said the same thing for the person who white that I said for the black person, then I'm not down. I'm a coon ass nigga because I'm not, hateful and hoping somebody pass and be laughing about it. Yeah, because in order to be down with you, I got to be against them. And I gotta be hateful. Well, that's not me, nigga. I'm down with me. That's why I be by myself. I'm down with me. Because I believe everybody got a right to live. Especially ones that just want to talk. I don't think nobody attacking me for words. I think if you using words, shit, I feel safe than a motherfucker. When that quiet motherfucker that just looking at me, I know when you quiet, you ready to attack. You know what I mean? When we stop talking, that's when I'm worried. I ain't worried about no motherfucker who talking. They say, oh, he's attacking me. If you look up the definition, we got to look it up. Fuck it. I got to look up the definition of attack. I'm tired of this shit. Too many smart people saying so much dumb shit. All right, class is in session. Ding, ding, bitch. I'm tired of all you stupid son of a guns allowing yourselves to be so brainwashed. I used to say this shit in the school as an itty bitty boy. How are you telling me I'm attacking somebody and I didn't touch nobody? I didn't know the English language changed just because people are in their fucking feelings all the time. Attacking is an adjective. Launching or engaging in a military or violent physical attack. Now, how in the world did we change from words turning into something that by definition says physical? Let's get physical. Let's get physical. So if I'm just talking and my hands or my feet or nothing is touching you, then I did not attack you. That just you can't deal with the truth. You're a son of a bitch. And that's the Oxford languages. And in Britain, it means in sports, making a forceful attempt to score, otherwise gain an advantage. But even in that one, it says forceful. So how in the world have you guys brainwashed people into yelling out and screaming to the top of their lungs at college institutions over words saying, you attacking me? I need to go to the guidance counselor. I need some medicine. Teacher, take me away. Take me away. I need help. Candace Owens, a pregnant black woman, just hit the stage and she attacked me with words. Oh my God, I feel so threatened. She pregnant, can't even move. She big, about 7-8 months. And she pregnant and she attacking. She whipped my ass with logic and words. Oh God, please make it stop. Give me an Ambien, give me a Midol, give me some Tums, but just make her stop talking. Oh my God. The fuck is wrong with people? Can we go back to telling them sticks and stones may break your bones, but words will never hurt me? Can we go back to saying that shit? I didn't understand it at first, but I do now. Got everybody crying and making no sense and talking about they educated, moving all around with feelings. How dare you tell people that somebody is attacking you? But by definition, the word says physical. So get your fragile ass out my face because you don't like what I'm saying. You classify it as an attack. Gilbert Arenas, you dummy. You got up on your podcast and said, I should sue you for slander. People need to start getting sued for slander when somebody's talking to them and they get up on airways and saying that you're attacking them. Gilbert Arenas, you big old bitch, you. Talking about I attacked you. I was using words. It's not an attack. That's an excuse that people are using to now launch their attack on other people because their feelings get hurt. This is how they're playing wordplay. They're trickery. Saying that somebody attacked you that didn't touch you needs to be classified as slander.
Sure, you guys can look it up. $20 million for New Sesame Street in Iraq. And because no one has ever had the courage to look through the books and look and examine the expenditures.
That's not what's happening.
No, it has happened. No, Biden, Obama, they never looked through any of the federal expenditures. And we got to $35 trillion in debt. This is the first time in my lifetime we have an administration going after the waste, going after the size of government to balance the budget so that you guys don't live as indentured servants and Russian serfs for the rest of your life.
What I just want to say, like, what?
Go ahead.
You don't need to interrupt people. Thank you. The point is, when you want to deal with this problem, you can either increase taxes or cut spending massively. Like, the point.
You said being attacked and assaulted is two different things. Can you please explain? So do you think that someone talking is an attack? Because in the definition that I just read, nobody's debating whether attack and assault is two different things. You're trying to move the goalpost, my brother. We're saying that attack, the word attacking or attack, does not mean when you're talking, you're not attacking someone. You're not being physical. Okay, I don't get it.
Is that like
cut spending.
These programs aren't efficient and helpful for getting to that goal?
Yes, I just proved to you that they're on pace for $1 trillion in cuts. But even if it's only $1 billion or $2 billion, that's admirable and noble. That's just so we're clear.
You have to both justify that these programs are bad, and like, no, you can flash aside. This is a program because this much money. We should cut it. That's not an argument.
$1.5 million for voter confidence in Liberia.
Again, you can say that.
Do you know anything about Liberia? I happen to know a lot about it. That's a separate issue.
It's not about what I know. It's about the people in the government making these decisions.
Yes, and they have proven themselves to be robber barons over the last 20 years. They're spending your money with reckless abandon and total indiscretion. And it's time that this is what's important. It's we the people, not we the government workers. And we take back the government.
Right. The so-called experts.
And where did y'all hear we the people at? And I'm still trying to figure out what is everybody offended about. Because he's holding up flashcards with numbers on them and statistics that you can look up. And if you look up those numbers and statistics and you find him to be wrong, then you can call him out because he'll be in the next city, or he would have been in the next city before somebody unalived him. And you could have brought that to his attention. And then he could have been right. But instead, everybody's moving with their feelings.
Dropping that 10, big dog, just to tell some of y'all that Charlie didn't spread no hate. Y'all never seen any of his videos. Stop listening to those white, Malcolm X talked about those white liberals. Exactly. I never seen Charlie Kirk videos. That's literally why I'm watching them right now. But now I'm being called a coon because I don't know why so many people are mad. So I'm trying to look at it to see why so many people is mad. And now they mad at me. That should tell you how crazy people are. I literally just said 3-4 times, I don't know nothing about Charlie Kirk videos, but I'm intrigued now. And when I get intrigued by something, I'm going to go watch it. Because I don't know why what's happening is happening. I thought that's what people should be doing, seekers of knowledge. I don't know what the hell everybody's so mad about. This is my first time listening to a Charlie Kirk go back and forth with somebody. And these motherfuckers mad. Have y'all heard a Charlie Kirk back and forth with somebody? Good. Then why the hell are you mad that I'm listening to it? This is my first time. You already know what he said. You trying to tell me what he said. And I'm just trying to figure out for myself what he said. Yeah. I'm trying to figure out for myself what he said. Y'all trying to tell me what he said. So that means y'all already Charlie Kirk. How you gonna already watch somebody and then get mad that I'm watching it? Didn't you watch it already? This shit is crazy. What the hell you mad at me for trying to go see what the hell going on and why everybody mad? They can tell me already what Charlie Kirk said. So that means they've watched this man. But they get mad at me now for going to see what they already know. I'm just trying to get a perspective on what he said. What up, Kwame? I love that you're researching first. Yeah, I never watched the Charlie Kirk thing. I'm not gonna lie. I'm a fan of Candace Owens, so I watched Candace Owens, and when they were together, I would hear different things. But I never heard Charlie Kirk in debate form like this. And look at Dan. Dan looked like a white brother, and he had been a member for 32 months. Or Hispanic brother, I think so. Might be Hispanic. Got that hat on low. Look like you don't fuck with this brother right here. Whoop your ass, you know what I'm saying? So they mad at me for going to listen to something they already listened to. You are backstopping now? No, I've been saying this the whole time. I said I'm finna go do my research because everybody been talking about this man. I don't understand what you don't get about that. Y'all, they've been watching clips. They must have been watching something because all I said was it's wrong to be picking on somebody deaf. Same thing I said about the George Floyd situation. You don't pick on nobody deaf. This is Charlie Kirk's original page. I'm going to go over this under fair use. Again, I'm doing research on Charlie Kirk from what happened to him in the past recent days while he was at an event talking. And I don't agree with somebody being unalive, black, white, Asian, anybody who's just talking. So I want to know why this happened and what was said, because I've heard other YouTubers say he was offensive and didn't like black folks. I'm black, so I want to see and hear what he said may have offended my race and my people. And therefore, I'm not just going to get offended because somebody told me he said something. I don't think that would be a service to myself or anybody. I don't want to just go off and believe what somebody say. So I'm doing this right in front of y'all. I'm watching a Charlie Kirk videos for the first time. And I'm going to gain a perspective on why somebody's upset by watching the videos. Unless y'all want me to be black because I'm black, just go ahead and run with believing you. You know, then that's fucked up. Ryan Wright says, salute, KB, keep it up. Member for 3 months. I just don't understand, man. These people crazy. Now, here's this little cool little thotty. Now, I did a little research on this video. Now, watch how loud, aggressive, and obnoxious this young girl is and how she don't have a clue. She has no respect for her body. She has no care in the world for babies. She's not going to make sure look at how she's dressed. Her butt cheeks is hanging out these shorts. So men are going to think, yes, Lord, come give me some. She got that camel toe is out on full display. So a man is visual. We going to think, oh, ma'am, come give me some. Whether you say that's right or wrong to think, that's what we're going to think, whether you like it or not. Now, you can wear what you want, but that's what we're going to think when we see what you wear. And you're trying to train that out of boys and men, but it's not going to work. She won't take responsibility, won't get on birth control, won't do anything to make herself not have a baby. She says she wants to have sex because she does it for pleasure, but she also says most men can't make her orgasm. So it's not for pleasure because you're not even orgasm, but you're also having frivolous sex with randoms that's ejaculating in your vagina, and you're not even doing it with protection. And you want everybody else to give you the right to unalive a baby, but you won't even listen to the fact that there's other precautions that you can take as an adult instead of just blaming somebody else for the decisions that you make. Now let's get to the why people don't like this man, because that's what I'm trying to discover. Why was he unalive? Why didn't people like him?
So why do you care so much about other individuals living their lives? Why is it affecting you? Do you have something up your ass or something?
Well, I could throw that.
Now, this is a real respectful way to start a conversation with somebody. Come right off the rip disrespecting somebody. I ask y'all, should we be watching behavior, or should we be watching the fact that she has a rainbow flag on her and that she's in that community, so therefore she gets to just be aggressive? Which one is it? Should we be watching this person's behavior? Because I'm trying to figure out, this is not a way to talk to anybody. Why would you come up after the person came up to talk to you? Why are you this hostile? I don't understand. Just have a conversation.
Right, Becky, why do you care so much about what I have to say?
Because you're affecting other people's rights. You're taking away people's choices. You are hurting people. Read the Constitution.
He's hurting people, but you yelling to the top of your lungs and flicking people off in the crowd. Now, what if you are hurting people by flicking them off, like the way you doing, man? What if you're hurting people by the way you behaving? You shouting and yelling, saying a man is hurting people. And I'm telling y'all, these talking points and the way she's talking is the reason why these people think they can enact violence on you. The media has brainwashed people to the point that if you speak and you have a dissenting opinion that doesn't align with theirs, they can now violate you because you hurt them. This is what they're saying. You're not just talking. It's no more sticks and stones and words may never hurt you. Look how hostile she is.
Taking away people's choices. You are hurting people. Read the Constitution.
What rights am I taking away exactly?
You're trying to take away gender-affirming care for individuals. You are affecting abortion rights. You are hurting people.
Got it. So what is a woman?
What is a woman? It's what people identify as. Is a gender. Sex is different. Sex is different from gender.
So can anyone be a woman?
Yes.
At what point do you know you're looking at a woman?
So anyone can be a woman. So beautiful one. So if I say I'm a woman, does that mean I can engage in a fight with beautiful one? This lovely, beautiful woman that I do know that I'm way stronger than, way bigger than, I would never, ever want to even think about hitting in a boxing ring or any type of physical combat. So if I just wake up and say, I'm a woman, I can fight beautiful one. I guarantee you after the fight, they'll call me a man. Kwame, bro, you sound like a fool. Okay. I respect your opinion, but if I want to sound like a fool, God gave me free will to sound like a fool. God gave you free will to also leave my chat. So I think you should take the latter. You don't know how to really have a conversation. You just know how to hurl out insults. But again, I'm just demonstrating the point. There's other beautiful women in the chat. If I say, I'm just asking a question. This is a simple question. Beautiful one said no. If I just wake up and say I'm a woman, does that mean I get to go play in the WNBA? Because I can use a goddamn couple 100,000 right now. How much they make? Hell, they get to fly on private jets and shit. I don't even got to be in shape and don't even have to dunk. Shit, I go out there and be an all-star. Finally get this bus tag up off me. Shit. Might get a few of them WNBA girls pregnant or something. I don't know. Because I'm still a man. My anatomy is still a man. And if they want to go down through there, in the locker room while I'm showering and shit, then maybe allegedly I think I snap. If my man part's still working, I think I can get them pregnant. I play that R. Kelly, girl, I think I want to get you pregnant, knock you up. But if I say I'm a woman, I can't get them pregnant no more. So I'll put that to the test. Let me get on the WNBA team, one of them all the fine girls. Put me on the WNBA team with all the twerkers. I'm talking about, man. Angel Reese, just keep trading me from team to team. I tell you what, and we're gonna put this to the test. I'll let y'all know. Just trade me to a couple teams because I just don't know. I'm asking. I don't know. Don't get mad at me. No, I don't want to play with Brittany Griner. Hell no. Hell no. Too strong. But listen, I want to play on a team with Angel Reese, and then trade me. Give me a couple of months. How long is the basketball season? Give me a month. Give me 30 days or 15 days each team, and just keep trading me because I want to make sure that if I say I'm a female, I shouldn't be able to get them pregnant or nothing. You know what I mean? Yeah, just put me on the team. Yeah, put me in, coach. Shit, just let me get them the water. Shit, I just want to be in the locker room getting undressed with them and shit. And I ain't even got to say pause because we all the same. God damn. Hey, don't cancel me. I'm just asking questions. I'm just saying, just put me on the team. Keep trading me. Put me on the Sparks. Just trade me around the league. God damn it, just trade me to every team.
Doesn't matter when you are looking at a woman. You don't have to look at a woman and immediately tell. Can you tell looking at a baby what gender they are without looking at their privates? Tell me that.
Sometimes.
What about that baby is different?
But hold on. By the time they're 6 months old, you can actually tell a young boy tends to gravitate more towards balls and remotes.
That's because it's gender affirming. That is convincing.
Oh man, here go my best friend. He always coming over here to hit at somebody that sounds stupid. I never will understand this man. If you know every day I'm gonna sound stupid, why you keep coming back? Why you can't go to somebody chat who sounds smart? I never will understand this dude here. He never say why I sound stupid. I'm just reacting to a video and I sound stupid. Cool. You might want to go and not waste your brain cells listening to somebody that sounds stupid. And you might want to go listen to somebody that sounds smart. That's just some good advice. That right there cleared up me sounding stupid because that just gave you some good advice. Okay? Gotcha.
Individuals at a young age, you are socializing, putting them in situations where they want certain different things. Let's look at. So let's say you were a little kid and your parents taught you to like pink. Let's actually look back in time. Pink actually used to be a male color instead of blue. In what world? Actually, in the 1920s.
So you say that I'm here to take people's rights away.
Yes.
That is your main contention.
Yes, because right. You are affecting the LGBT. You are affecting.
Hey, Dr. Umar, I know this is off topic. Dr. Umar, can I ask you something, Dr. Umar? I know little Becky sound crazy as hell, Dr. Umar. But I just want to ask you something. What are the percentages of black men and brothers that if they see this white girl with them cheeks out at a party, and you know what I'm saying, we just having a good time, and she got them cheeks, and she ready to go down through there. How many of the black brothers gonna say Ifa Tunde, no white forever, no snow bunnies never, queens forever? Or they gonna take her down through there? How many of you think listening to you, Dr. Umar? Ifa Tunde. Because all we see is cheeks, Dr. Umar Ifa Tunde. Cheeks and opportunity, Dr. Ifa Tunde. I'm just saying. What do you think they gonna do? Them football players that go to this school right here, and they got one of them tenderonis right there. Do you think they gonna say Ifa Tunde?
Women's rights. If I was pregnant, oh wait, let's go back to this. Abortion is anything. If I had a cyst on my uterus, that would be considered an abortion. No, it's not. Yes, it is.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is. Look at okay. Anything that is involving the uterus.
Well, no. In order for it to be an abortion, it must be a human life.
No. Anything
Yes.
that's.
Wait a minute. What the hell did she just say? I think I just missed something laughing. Hold on. What the hell? Kwame was so marry her, lost your goddamn mind. But Becky could get it. Yeah, sure could. Back in the day, though, I would so marry her. Yeah, because I have a track record of marrying so many people when I never been fucking married. That's hilarious. Motherfuckers just say anything. I ain't never been married, but wow, I would just so marry her. God, at least let me marry the first motherfucker. I ain't married nobody black, white, nobody, but I would so marry her. God damn, boy, y'all will say any goddamn thing. Y'all crazy, man.
Yes, it
No.
Oh, but what she said, having a cyst removed is having an abortion?
If I was pregnant, oh wait, let's go back to this. Abortion is anything. If I had a cyst on my uterus, that would be considered an abortion.
Ladies, can y'all tell me it's y'all body, y'all choice? If y'all have a cyst removed, is that the same as an abortion? I don't want to give out any misinformation, ladies. Ladies in the chat, can y'all please? And okay, beautiful one said, hell no. Okay, another woman said, hell no. No, Kwame. Damn, all the women say, hell no, it isn't. What the? But see, this is what happens when people are emotionally charged and they just say stuff. So far, what has Charlie Kirk said that has so many people in an uproar? I'm trying to figure it out. Bear with me. We're going to get to the bottom of this. Because if I had to be on someone's side right now, I'm leaning more towards Charlie Kirk right now. He's poised. He's talking. He's making sense. He ain't yelling. He ain't outraged. He just said to her, no, what you just said was wrong. So I'm leaning more towards Charlie on this one. I don't know about y'all.
Yes, it
No, it's not.
Yes, it is. Look at okay. Anything that is involving the uterus.
Well, no. In order for it to be an abortion, it must be a human life.
No. Anything
Yes.
that's involving the uterus and you have to get rid of it, it is considered abortion.
No, that's
Yes,
not how
it
that's
is.
not how it works. So again, you say I'm here to take rights away.
Yes.
Do you agree life is a right?
I feel like if it's a clump of cells, then it's not alive.
No, but let's go back. Do you think every human being?
Damn, she did not answer the question. Do you think life has a right? You talk about life has a right. If it's a clump of cells, what the fuck did she say? What is wrong with this person?
I feel like
So again, you say I'm here to take rights away.
Yes.
Do you agree life is a right?
I feel like if it's a clump of cells, then
Do you agree life is a right? She said, I feel like if it's a clump of cells. What the fuck? This is why they don't want to talk in open forum and they just attack and shout and yell. If you get them to have a conversation, you'll see that most of these people are slap leg crazy.
and you have to get rid of it, it is considered abortion.
No, that's
Yes,
not how
it
that's not how it works. So again, you say I'm here to take rights away.
Yes.
Do you agree life is a right?
I I feel like if it's a clump of cells, then it's not alive.
No, but let's go back. Do you think every human being has a right to life?
Depending on how many weeks, but let's.
So wait, hold on. Who's trying to take rights away? I want to protect the rights of all human beings. You call them a clump of cells. Who's trying to take rights away? Exactly.
So when is it a human being in your mind? When is it a human being in your mind?
Well, it's not even on my mind. Human development objectively begins at conception.
At conception. So even if I had a miscarriage, what are you going to say about that?
It's a tragedy.
It's a tragedy?
Yes.
Okay, then let's talk about, like, what if it's affecting the woman?
Boy, she thought she had him with that. If I have a miscarriage, what do you call that? A tragedy. She's like, oh, a tragedy? She was still charged up. It's like, yes, ma'am. If you have a miscarriage, that's a tragedy. We would all be sorry that happened. That's unfortunate. She was mad. A tragedy? Really? Okay, let's move on. Because I'm going to get her. I got you somewhere. What the heck is you so mad at? She just finding everything to move on to be mad at.
Human development objectively begins at conception.
At conception. So even if I had a miscarriage, what are you going to say about that?
It's a tragedy.
It's a tragedy?
Yes.
Okay, then let's talk about, like, what if it's affecting the woman or anybody who is pregnant in this situation? What if they're going to die and they have to get an abortion? That's the only way they're going to live. Are they going to be over?
Well, hold on. Just so we're clear, that's only a couple thousand cases a year.
No.
And so, yes, it is.
Have you seen how many individuals have already died because they haven't been able to get abortion
Abortion
care?
in the life of the mother can be put aside as something that needs to be considered. However, it's not always necessary. But let's talk about the main thing, because there's over 1.5 million abortions every single year that don't involve rape, incest, or life of the mother. 1.5 million.
Yes,
but let's just ask you a very simple question. When does human life begin?
When does human life, in my personal opinion, is going to start around the second trimester, a little more farther along. But
what the holy Lord? She said the human life begins in the second trimester. What does this have to do with Shannon Sharp and Gilbert Arenas? Shannon Sharp and Gil was right. Let's see. Let's put that to the test. Shannon Sharp called me a 7-foot farmer. I don't own a farm and I'm not a farmer. Ma'am, I'm the motherfucking landlord. Okay, Gil has been coming up here telling y'all all kind of shit about me, but I have him on the video saying I would still work with you. So what he's saying is a cap and a mute point because he want to work with me. And if I was so bad, why the hell would he want to work with me? So, ma'am, get out your feelings. Can't handle a person going over a video without sending an attacking message to him. That is the dumbest, weakest thing ever. What is wrong with you, lady? What is wrong with all of y'all? How many times I got to say I'm going over the damn video because I don't know why these people are so upset with this man. And now you guys are bringing your anger and directing it towards me. And that's stupid. All you're going to do is expose that you need help and that people are right, that you're crazy.
let's get to this. Most individuals that are having abortions are going to be mothers that cannot afford it. They usually have already 2 to 3 kids and a lot of time.
So it's acceptable to be able to murder your young if all of a sudden you don't have the money to support them. That you can murder your offspring if you're poor.
So in the first couple of weeks, even though it's still not fully developed, doesn't even have a heartbeat, doesn't even have
development does not equal dignity. A human being is a human being regardless of the process of development that it is in, period. And so who's trying to take rights away? I actually want more human beings to
Then
be
why
born.
are you affecting LGBT?
Well, hold on, we're talking. Let me finish.
Man, what the hell? Where did that come from? Where did that come from? Where did that come from? Out of nowhere. But you attack LGBT. I could have sworn they were just talking about something totally different. They were just talking about abortions. These people crazy. And in 10 years, they will run society. And black people, y'all more sensitive than a toothache. Stay victims, stay crying. Al W. Salute, bro. Man, this shit crazy, man. I see why people are buying private islands and stocking up on weapons on those islands, because pretty soon it's going to be mob mentality and people are going to be after you based on your thoughts and opinion, because they made everybody so sensitive. You're going to need an island to get away from these some bitches. with booby traps in the water. Shit, I better get me 2-3 women and let's go on the island. I can't have one now. These hips working. So yeah, I'm gonna have to get me 2, 3, 4, 5 women. Let's go to the island, baby. Yeah, let's slow to you, shut up and react. Let's go to the island, baby. We're gonna have to go to the island. Yeah, we provide the food, the good jug, good time. Yeah, good Lord have mercy. These people is sensitive than a mother truck.
Finish on abortion. I want more human lives, which, by the way, hilariously, would be more women would be born, because the right to life is paramount. You're trying to take rights away because you're okay with the massacring of little humans. Back to LGBT.
It's been going throughout history, though. Abortion has been a big thing for a long time, and it affects people, and it hurts people.
So has murder and slavery and child sacrifice.
That's completely different.
No, it is.
Jesus Christ, ma'am, calm down. Salute to you, Styles by us a lot. Dang, keep kicking the real KB. Salute. Man, look how angry this girl is. You that mad at his rebuttal? God.
They're going throughout history
away because you're okay with the massacring of little humans. Back to LGBT.
It's been going throughout history, though. Abortion has been a big thing for a long time, and it affects people, and it hurts people.
So has murder and slavery and child sacrifice.
That's completely different.
No, it is murder. Okay, so let me ask you a question then. Define what is murder.
What is murder? Are you going to be talking about first-degree murder, like homicide, like having the intent to kill? Having the intent to kill somebody, but I'm not saying a clump of cells.
Right?
But a clump of cells is different.
Hold on, time out. If it's a clump of cells, what species is it?
What species is it?
Yes. What species?
It depends. Whatever's going to be pregnant, whatever you're trying to abort.
Is it a Homo sapien?
What the hell? He said, what species is it? Because she's trying to act like it's not a human being, like it's not a young fetus. He said, what species is it? She said, I don't know. It depends on what you're trying to birth. Oh, my goodness, boy. Lord have mercy, Jesus. Ooh, whoa. Oh, man. Most of the people who don't like Charlie Kirk think LeBron James is the GOAT. They don't use common sense. Kobe over LeBron, man. I don't know what they got to do with that, but salute to you. Man, goodness gracious. What species is it? And she says she don't know. So a clump of cells is not human. See, it's funny how they changed the name to something, and then you have a innate right to kill it, to unalive it. This is crazy to me. Big Walsh, a horrible analogy. Great. Everything you said that I've said has been horrible, stupid, or dumb. What I can't figure out is why you still here. That's the only thing I can't figure out, Big Walsh. You know, you should do something smart.
A crocodile or a raccoon? Which one is it? What species is it? Oh, wait, so if it's a human clump of cells, then it's a human life deserving of human rights. And the first right is life. And so you could call it a clump of cells, which is dehumanizing language, but I'll go back to this. Ironically, you're the one that is actually intruding on human rights. We're the one protecting human rights.
But you're trying to get rid of the option so people can have rights to their own body. If someone does not want to have a child, they should not be forced to. Oh, wait. If we're going to be doing this, then what are you going to do about the children in the system that have been being assaulted, that are being hurted? Put more money into the system so people can actually get adopted, or actually other things like that.
Again, none of that is relevant.
No, because you want more babies to be born. What about people that can't afford them? They have to go into systems.
How many people are on the adoption waiting list?
Yeah, well, I know how many kids actually get adopted. How many kids that go into systems or are being fostered, that get assaulted, that get hurt? Are you going to be helping those children that get...
Can anybody tell me why is this thug screaming to the top of her lungs? She ghetto. I'm gonna start using all the words that they use against a loud black woman. She's an angry, loud white woman. Yeah, this is an angry, loud white woman, a loud white woman. Yeah, we need to start them stereotypes the other way. This is an angry, loud white woman. She's yelling and screaming and snarling at the man over every goddamn question. This is what you call an angry white woman right here. This is despicable behavior. You angry white woman, you thug, you. This is a white thug. Yeah, you angry white woman, you. This is how Tommy would say, this is a BT 1000 white woman. Tommy, you don't talk about these types. This is a BT1000. She ain't no Karen. She ain't no Karen. A Karen is nice and sweet. I got a Karen live by me, and I got a black lady live by me. But I got a Karen, and she quiet and nice. She don't yell like this. She damn sure call the goddamn police. Yeah, and she gonna make sure my house straight. She done heard about the other break-ins, so she stayed on that goddamn porch, looking out that window, ready to dial 911. Look suspicious if you want to. She gonna call 911, so I can be out of town and get on Instagram and be on Facebook, because a Karen gonna dial 911 for me, for sure. You know what I mean? Karen gonna dial 911 for me, Jack. So this ain't no Karen. This is a thug. We got to make sure we identify this heifer. This is a thug right here. This is a white thug.
Over by the system?
So there are 2 million people on the adoption waiting list. There are 1 million abortions every year. There are twice as many people that want.
Yeah, they can't be a BT 1000. They got to be a WT 1000. Yeah, WT 1000. Yeah, this is a motherfucking WT 1000 right here. You heard it first. This is a WT 1000.
To adopt than discarded children every single year. Now, I have to go back to a fundamental question, though, which I think is very important. Human development objectively begins at conception. You say it's around 2 trimesters. Can we agree that every human being, once your DNA is formed, you should have the right to life, the right to live the life the way you want to live it? Can we agree on that?
How many weeks are we saying?
No, I say, again, once.
Holy shit, Sherlock. Holy moly donut shop. I'm not believing these responses to his simple question. I'm not understanding these responses. I don't know if I'm slow. These questions seem simple to me, but I just don't get her responses. I'm sorry.
Every human being, once your DNA is formed, you should have the right to life, the right to live the life the way you want to live it. Can we agree on that?
How many weeks are we saying?
No, I say.
Do they have a right to live? How many weeks are we saying? KB, the people who hate Charlie are the same people who voted for Kamala. The word salad and claimed she was smart. The people who thought Biden wasn't senile. Salute warrior for truth. Man, this is crazy, man. Lord have mercy. Jeez, I don't understand this, B.
Again, once we
so
can
like
acknowledge.
once the sperm is inside the egg?
Correct. Yeah.
No. Once the sperm is inside the egg in the first like couple of days? No.
Well, okay, but let's go through that. Isn't that when your DNA was?
So wait, all these sperm cells go inside a woman, but only one fight through and beat up all these other sperm cells. Them niggas get in a circle and they squabble to get to where they need to go to get to the woman's egg. So the one sperm that squabble all the rest of the sperm go head up, whip all the rest of the sperm, and get on through breaking the egg. And now, right then in that moment, outside of you doing something to stop it, you are pregnant. It's already started the process. It's boom, that sperm needed to reach that egg. Once it reached it, it started a process. It's starting to churn. But he's just talking and having a conversation. You don't even have to agree. You can say, you know what, Charlie? I hear that. I hear what you're saying, but I still don't agree with you. I still think I need to wait for a heartbeat. And that's when that's at my point where I think it's a child. And that's a conversation. That's it. It's simple. Why you got to get so aggressive and outraged by somebody having a different opinion than yours? You just state what you think. No, man, I don't agree with that. I think it's when you know what I mean, when the heartbeat is formed, you know, boom, that's when I'm gonna go with. People crazy.
Formed.
Yeah.
But then, aren't you fundamentally at its core? You are the DNA is your blueprint for your life. That's who you are. It's a unique marker.
It's my DNA, yeah.
Yes. So if it's not your DNA, why is it your choice?
Why is it my choice?
Yes. If it's not your DNA, why do you have a choice to eliminate it? I don't
It's
have.
up to the individual that is having them inside of it.
Oh,
It's
okay.
their
So-
body. I don't care if it is like a few weeks because that is not a human
Got
being
it. So
life yet. Because
outside of rape,
that individual
let's
cannot
go-
survive
got it.
without the mother or who
Oh,
is
okay.
ever
Well,
pregnant.
let's-
Therefore,
again, so let's get down to this because I think it's very important.
Can somebody tell me why she yelling like this here? Why is this white thug yelling, man? You need to calm down, white thug.
So
rape
hold
or
on.
other situations.
They
They said
okay
great-
with abortion.
Because
Well,
women
again, you keep on interrupting.
And I'm trying to pass the part where he's basically saying to her, look, I'll give it to you if I'll take away being raped and take away anything like that, a woman needing to have the abortion because of her life is on the line. You can do it under those two circumstances. But outside of those two circumstances, you can't go out and just get drunk and say, oh my God, I made a mistake. He's saying he don't agree with you having an abortion. You don't have to agree with that, but he's not attacking you. That's his opinion. That's his opinion, not an attack.
But you can report rape as a crime. You can also do a blood test to find out if the mother is in her uterus, or did she do something to decide to potentially have a child?
sex, but also
Uterus, or did women get pregnant in those certain situations? Did she just walk through campus and it just appeared and all of a sudden the baby is in her uterus? Or did she do something to decide to potentially have a child?
sex, but also
okay.
contraceptives sometimes don't always
Got
work.
it. So, but hold on a second. Shouldn't you take responsibility for your orgasms?
I don't think most men can make me come. I'm going to be honest.
Oh, okay. Well,
That was her response to should you be responsible for your orgasms? I don't think most men can make me come, to be honest. Now men know how to come at her. Look here, baby. Shit, you having coming issues? I got you, baby. I bet you I can make that thing come. That's gonna be her whole conversations when niggas talk to her now. When whoever talk to her, that's how they gonna approach her. Look at how she talking. People gonna take that as a challenge. There was no reason to even say that. That's not what he asked. But this little sexual deviant, he talking about walls gone. Yeah, I don't think most men can make me come, but yet and still she out having sex. She out getting it bust down, even though she's not gonna come. But she's still doing it though. So who hurt you, little girl?
and outside of that statement, I'm not even sure how to take that, to be honest.
You brought up orgasms.
Okay. Shouldn't you take responsibility for the sex that you have?
I mean, if I was wanting to have a child and my contraceptives, I didn't use any contraceptives and I wanted to get pregnant, sure, I'm taking responsibility for that life because I wanted that life. But let's say I was having sex and my contraceptives didn't work and I got the chance of getting pregnant. I am not having that child.
So, but you still decided to have.
I'm not having that child. Her name should be Bequisha. Someone said, yeah, this girl here ratchet. But again, she said that if she went out and had fun, she would not have that child. That's her opinion. If she want to do that, that's her body. That's her decision. They gave her the right to make that decision. That's her. There's other decisions that you can make prior to that. Clearly, this young lady don't want to make those decisions. She want the right to be irresponsible. She want the right to not have to be accountable for her actions. And she gonna cuss out anybody who go against her right to be dumb. But hey, who am I to say she don't have a right to be this way? She has a right to be this ignorant. And is somebody gonna be ignorant with her? But I don't think she should be unalive for her ignorance.
Have sex.
Yeah.
And again, our opinion, when you go and decide having sex is not something you need to survive. It's not like showering or eating or shelter. You can live without having sex. You can have a little bit of self-control. If you decide to go have sex, you should understand you play certain games, you win certain prizes, which might be another human life. And it is the
I don't want to have another child though.
Hold on a second. Then don't go have sex.
No.
Oh, so you understand how narcissistic that is, that I want to keep on having fun, and if I have a human being and oopsie daisy, I'm going to eliminate that other human being because I don't want to have the human being, but I want to keep on having free sex. How is that not the most narcissistic worldview that one can possibly espouse?
It's narcissistic that I want.
Facts, because all you got to do is use contraceptives and have birth control going. If you do not want to have a baby, then you should take every precaution possible to not have said baby. You can even monitor, and it's your body, your choice, but I heard, allegedly, I think I snapped, that you can monitor and track your ovulation period, and that you should not engage in sexual contact as another precaution during said ovulation period so that you don't have a baby. But you don't want no accountability whatsoever. And then in the slight chance of the uneventful event that you get pregnant one night after drinking and partying and the guy leave it in, you're going to say, oh no, I'm not having this baby. I was on Tito's. I was on Jaeger bombs. You look like one of them Jaeger bomb white girls. I was on Jaeger and beer, and I'm not having this baby. Because you's a little thug. You's a little white thug, a WT-1000. You's a WT-1000. And a cum dumpster from what it sounds like.
Want to have sex with another consenting individual just because I don't want to have children. I feel like a lot of people in the world have sex. I think a lot of people make money off of having sex, and they don't want to have children. I feel like it is something that everybody do. A lot of people have sex, and they don't want to. I don't want to have children. I feel like a lot of people in the world have sex. I think a lot of people make money off of having sex.
There you have it. A lot of people have sex. A lot of people make money off having sex. There you have it. A lot of people having sex. A lot of people make money having sex. What in the world does that got to do with the questions that he asking? What does that have to do with what he's asking? But I don't understand. Beautiful one said, little freak. I don't understand what they're so mad at this guy for, because he is exposing that this young lady is raging out. She's angry as I don't know what. She's horny as I don't know what. She don't want to take responsibility for nothing. Just out of control. You WT-1000, you need to calm down and learn how to talk to somebody.
They don't want to have children. I feel like it is something that everybody do. A lot of people have sex just for pleasure.
Just because a lot of people do it does not make it right, number one. Number two, again, fundamentally, your view is I'm going to do whatever I want to do. And
I have a question.
If it creates other human beings, so be it. Sure.
Do you have sex just to have a baby every single time then? Or are you doing it for pleasure?
I am married and we have 2 kids.
Yeah, but are you having, I'm assuming that you have had sex more than twice in your life,
again,
not just to have the babies.
Give you an inside look into my sex life, but
you're doing it for pleasure, not just to have kids.
Well, again, we actually always do it with God's trust that if we get kids, it's a blessing, okay? And we do it in the marital context. Again,
you also are in a position where you can afford to have children. You are in a position where you are not the lower class.
How about this? How about we have the...
Boy, she didn't like that. The reason why he can afford to have babies is because he got married and he created a union. Everybody know who controls most of the wealth, and that's the union. You don't want out here getting your cheeks clapped and don't want to be in that union. You know, it's sad. He answered your question perfectly.
Into my sex life, but
you're doing it for pleasure, not just to have kids.
Well, again, we actually always do it with God's trust that if we get kids, it's a blessing, okay? And we do it in the marital context. Again,
you also are in a position where you can afford to have children. You are in a position where you are not the lower class.
How about this? How about we have the maturity and the sophistication? Again, you keep on using words children and baby. Let me ask you a question. When someone is celebrating a pregnancy, do they call it a clump of cell shower or a baby shower?
That's also when it's already been past those weeks.
Oh, so it magically gets pixie dust. You're a human being now.
No, because it develops.
Oh, exactly, because it's all around the spectrum of human development, and human development starts at conception.
Yeah, is it going to be completely developed at the first week? No, so
You're
it's
not
like
completely
still...
developed right now. A lot of
Yeah,
people
we're
aren't
not going to be
completely
complete.
developed. I mean,
you're never going to be
but I
completely
mean that.
developed.
It's like you are not completely developed at age 30 or 40. The spectrum of human development keeps on going when you go deep and deep into your life. The question is the most important question: when does that journey begin? That journey begin. Like, when did your process of development begin?
My process of development?
Yes. Yeah. At conception. Every person in this audience, your life started at conception. And your own DNA, from your eye color to your hair color to your height, from your likes and your dislikes, whether you're an introvert, you're an extrovert, all of that was coded into your deoxyribonucleic acid at the moment that you were a zygote. And so that human deserves constitutional and human rights. And again, you came up here with the accusation saying, I am here taking away people's rights.
You are.
Again, so...
You are affecting LGBT rights
right,
and
so,
abortion rights. You are affecting individuals that can't always speak for themselves.
Got it. So again, I think.
What is he saying about? What did he say about LGBT rights? I'm gonna have to find something on that because she keeps going back to that. You affecting LGBT rights. What did he say about the LGBTQ? Well, right now I'm trying to track down why are people saying he's against the black community. I got that one video. I added this video in because the lady had on the trans shirt. But this is where he's debating black college students because I want to know why they said he's disrespecting the black community. He talked to one black person. I think that he had a pretty cool conversation. Let's see how he talks to this black person. Let's see if he disrespects this person or does he have the same energy with that white girl that he was talking to.
Hello.
Hello. My name is Malcolm, and I guess my question to you today is, when did systemic racism end, and what is your definition of systemic racism?
Systemic racism is a law on the books that prohibits an individual from doing something based on their race. It largely ended with the Equal Rights Amendment and the Civil Rights Act in the 1960s.
Okay, and so do you think that it just ended right then and there, and there's no lingering effects of that could, kind of explain some of the disparities we see today?
If the hypothesis of
No, where did you share it at? Because I didn't get it. I didn't get the one you shared.
lingering intergenerational 60-plus year effects are true, then you must tell me how Jews have done so materially well post-Holocaust, despite everything being taken from them.
Well, I don't think that's a one-to-one.
You're right, Jews had it much worse than blacks.
Well, I think that also
have black Americans ever had a crazy fanatical dictator trying to kill half their population in a span of 5 years?
We have been enslaved for.
No, that's not the question. I'm saying, I'm saying Jews actually had it far worse than black Americans did in the 1930s and 40s. Way worse.
But do we have to look at Jews as how we should, like black people should?
No, I'm saying you have to prove the argument that it applies to other groups. So your argument is that things pass down through generations, right? That there's aftershock.
Yeah, that's what I'm confused on. A white man shoots him and black people want to jump in the way talking about he didn't like black people. I don't understand it. All I said was, I don't think it's cool that we laughed at, that anybody mocked his death. And then people started saying, but he said this about black people, but he said this about black people, but he said this about black people. And so I want to know what the hell he said about black people.
There's a ripple effect. We discount that as very minimal at best. So you have to show me another minority group that has suffered, that it held them back.
So for black people to have, or for the 60 plus, like disparity to be true, you have to see that in another group.
Well, yeah, because then it's a rule, right? So the rule should apply to other groups that had other types of suffering.
But the way black people were treated in America isn't the same as any other group.
Well, I mean, Asians were put in internment camps actually in the 1930s and 40s.
Well, yeah, they were.
And Jews came with no money in the 40s or 50s after.
And that hurt their communities.
Right, but then they were able to overcome it. So how is it that Asians are super wealthy now?
They were put in internment camps and then let out of camps.
Yeah, but for 2 or 3 years, some Asians and Chinese and Japanese were in internment camps with no ability to own property, run business. I mean, it was terrible. Every group has gone through some period or form of suffering. And let me ask you a question. Do you think that the material bad status of Black America right now has anything to do with decisions that Black Americans have made?
I think that while it may have, that might be part of the reason, I think that there has been a push for Black Americans to make that choice.
I don't understand.
I would say like take the war on drugs, for example. I would think that that is a way that Black and white people were using drugs at similar rates. but black people were punished for it more severely and given longer sentences.
Okay, none of that is correct, but that's fine.
Well,
so
it is.
It's based on income, not based on race. But again,
But those are pretty much the same thing.
Again, I always find the war on drugs argument so laughable. You don't want to go to jail for doing cocaine, don't do cocaine. Like, I don't understand the argument. Like, it's not that hard. It's not complex stuff, right? It's as if, like, wait, so the argument is that a bunch of black people were doing cocaine and they caught us and we're the problem.
Well, they were given longer sentences than white people.
Again,
even though white people get the same drugs at the same
hotly
time.
and highly debated, but it still is.
It's not.
Well, again,
I've heard.
Now, I agree with the brother on that one. Now, they did do different laws that targeted the difference between hard rock cocaine and regular cocaine in the purest form. So I'll give the young man that one. And he's not yelling. He don't seem angry. He's not being disrespectful. So going this far, this young black brother is one of the most respectful people that came up here and talked to him. So I like what he's doing so far.
From a lot of sources.
If you distill it down based on the quality of attorney they had based on their income level, it just so happens a lot of black Americans had a lower income level.
Well, why is that though? And I think there's a reason that's the case.
And just so we're clear,
that's a systemic reason.
The war on drugs was insanely popular with black leaders back in the 1980s because black communities were actually being ravaged by drugs. There's a reason why we launched it.
Well, why were they were put in there in the first place?
So the government like put a bunch of cocaine in the inner city?
Into the inner cities. That's true.
No.
I believe that is true.
That's not true.
Well, you don't have to. Well.
All right. That's another thing I agree with the young man because we know that the Freeway Rick Ross story where he was working directly with the CIA to get them money for a war that they were fighting overseas. So that's why you can't never believe everything someone says. You got to follow and listen for your own self and make a determination. I do not agree with I agree with this young man on that they were dropping drugs and using black people. Black people don't own boats, planes, none of this stuff to get it over here. And so they had to work directly with these people. So I do agree with this young man on that. And sometimes, other races and other people don't know the ins and outs and the nuances of what goes on because they're not involved with it. Us, we know the ins and outs. And that's why they have to me, I don't think, and I have a theory, I don't think it's a lot of mental illness that's going on out here that's not manufactured. I think a lot of these young black males, because they're talking about black males being the biggest unalivers, I think it's directly connected to the ADHD medicine that they were giving these males as children. I think they should run a test on a lot of these men and find out if they took ADHD medicine in school, whichever one, Ritalin or that Prozac. A lot of these people that are adults now that have erratic behavior, I believe that they took Ritalin or one of these drugs when they were kids, and they won't want to connect that to mental illness because that would be a lot of lawsuits. That would shut down the economy because every state would be in a lawsuit that they gave one of those kids that medicine that does have a side effect that does not assimilate naturally with the body. Anything that you put in the body, whether it be an aspirin or Advil or whatever it is, it has a side effect. It might make your tummy ache. It might clear up your headache, but it might make your tummy ache. So you got to do the research and see the connection because a lot of lower income households, a lot of the males was on this ADHD medicine in some form, in some way. Allegedly, I think I snapped.
You can move on from that.
It's okay, but let's try to find some common ground because I don't want this to be overly combative.
Okay, I would agree. Yeah.
Would you prefer a country that prioritizes race or one that prioritizes merit?
Tired of government-run, overpriced healthcare plans? It's time to take control. EASE is a health plan for hardworking Americans. Charlie.
I think we need to look at why some races are seen as less meritorious than others.
Okay, so again, just to go back to it, I can give you another example. Cubans came here with nothing. Any Cubans in the audience? Nothing, right? Nothing, right? Am I right? Nothing. Because of Castro. Like the poorest people ever to come to America would be Cubans. They're incredibly wealthy per capita now. How does it keep on happening with every other group but Black America is like seemingly always held back.
Well, I think you also have to look at, there are Cubans who move here with wealth. It's the ones who are rich enough to move.
Okay, again,
At least a lot of them are.
Again,
and I think that even the ones who do come here, with nothing, which a lot do.
But you have to, so in order for your hypothesis to be true, it needs to bear out with one other group. So there have been, what?
Wait, what do you think my hypothesis is?
Your hypothesis is one of intergenerational struggle, that what has happened 60 years ago has direct impact on material well-being, what happens today. We reject that premise.
You don't think that history affects the president?
Not nearly as much as you think it does, actually.
Well,
we believe that you are most importantly a consequence of your agency and your actions. Most importantly. And yes, there are historical implications that impact you. Of course they do. But to just say something that happened not in your lifetime and not even in all of your dad's lifetime.
Well, it happened in my grandmother's lifetime.
Right.
And it affected how my dad grew up. And it affected how, what he had to do to get where he is, and for me to do what I did to get here.
Okay, but you got to break that down though.
Well, do you want me to explain like my whole family's history of how
Not necessarily, no, but at some point you have to say, despite all the bad stuff happening to us, we still could have made good choices and we would have flourished.
Well, I think you can make good choices, and I think that you should also help people make good choices, because I don't see why we shouldn't.
No, we should help people make good choices.
Okay.
Do you know why? That's why we should get rid of DEI, which actually elevates and rewards people that have not necessarily worked as hard.
DEI just means diversity, equity.
No, it means didn't earn it, but yeah, that's fine. But
it doesn't.
I know.
Well, why would you say that then?
Well, because the essence of DEI means didn't earn it.
No, it doesn't.
Yes, it does.
Diversity, equity, and inclusion.
Okay.
And I'll explain
Yeah.
what's wrong with inclusion. What's so evil about that word that you don't like it?
Okay, well, in practice, not the word itself, this is a forced corporate program or college program, however you want to put it, that is putting people in positions that have less. I went with this previous guy. It's very simple. You are elevating things that do not matter, that should not be in the matrix of making decisions.
DEI isn't just about hiring. It can be research to find, disparities of, diseases against different groups. And it can be like, it's not just race, it's also, disabilities. It's also veterans. That's a group of people that we include here at Texas.
So I want to get to the next question, but here's my plea to you and to all of Black America, which is this. You could pick the Salvadorians, the Mexicans, the Iranians, Persians, the Syrians, the Lebanese. You could pick any country. The ones that have succeeded reject the attitude that you and the prior guy have said.
What do you think my attitude is?
Again, your attitude is very clear. You are prioritizing the past and de-emphasizing agency in the media.
I am saying that the past should
yeah, but all these
have
groups,
an effect on what we do
all
now.
these other groups do not believe this, and that because when
have
they
you
don't
talked to all of these other
well,
groups?
again, you can look at their cultural ethos. You can look at how again. So you cannot find in major Cuban literature in Miami this belief like, well, I'm not able to succeed because they took my farm away and everything's gone Castro.
That's
Instead,
not what I'm saying, and that's not what anyone who's pushing for DEI.
It is though, and that's the problem.
No, but the vast majority of people I've talked to who support DEI don't say that.
Okay, they might not say it, but again, in practice, but
they
I'm
don't
saying
practice it either.
in Black America, it is a dominant worldview, irrefutably, that focuses on past injustices and not future prosperity. Can we agree on that?
Well, okay, can you say that again?
In Black America, there is an attitude, a worldview, an ethos that is predominantly focused on past injustices, not on future prosperity.
Well, I think one, you're simplifying it too much. I think Black Americans see that there has been.
All right, now I got to agree with Charlie Kirk on this one. A lot of people are stuck in the past. A lot of people talk as if we still got it just as bad as the people that went through slavery, and we don't. They talk just like they're getting hung or lynched in the middle of the road just in 2025. And a lot of people are in their own way. They can't succeed because they keep talking about what white people doing to them. So I do agree with this young man. I do like how he's well spoken. I do like how he doesn't seem unhinged. Just seem like a normal young man who's educated that understands how to have a conversation. I don't have any problem with the way this young man is talking. Not one whatsoever. If we can get more people to talk like this young man, then you might get somewhere. Because although he's not fully agreeing with him, he's still maintaining his position and doing it in a respectful way. I can have no problem with this right here.
And past injustices, and those past injustices are still here to some extent.
Has that
today.
mindset worked for Black America?
Well, what do you mean? I mean, it worked for MLK. I mean, it worked for him.
I do think that there's still some past injustices, but I do think Charlie Kirk, that this young man needs to hear the point of, despite all of those past injustices, you got to believe that you can do it today. And I think he was trying to make the point that other races has a lot of pride and they're doing the work. Despite having their land taken, things have happened to every race. And he's making a point that despite of those things, they persevered through it. So you can do it too. And he just want to keep, I don't know. That's the only part I don't agree with him with. But I do think was a good interview. I don't think he disrespected black people to the point where he needs to have all this hatred. But I'm trying to find the video where he does it.
Yeah.
Actually, MLK actually had the exact opposite. MLK would be marching in the streets against DEI, actually.
No, he would not be.
Well, he said, I don't care about color. I care about content of character. DEI cares about color.
DEI is about making an inclusive space for everyone of every background.
DEI and wokeness believe that every action is impacted by some systemic injustice and that DEI can fix it. We're not going to agree much. My final plea is this. I just hope Black America stops this victim mentality and embraces a victor mentality. They'll be much better if they do that. Thank you very much.
Thank you for your time.
Okay, what was said that was so offensive that black folks need to get involved in this and start mocking someone's being unalived and start disrespecting people? I'm confused thus far. Somebody gonna have to help me. But I got another video where it's all black people that he's talking to, and this is my first time hearing it, so we're gonna go over it and see what he said to black people for black people to start jumping up and saying what they're saying, because I don't get it. So maybe this is the video where he disrespects all these black people.
Which is that I did not own slaves and you were not a slave.
Correct.
Right. So we are individuals, and therefore we cannot be held accountable or should receive something from something that didn't happen to us or something we did not do. That is a basic law of justice, that I can't be held accountable for something that somebody looked like me did, and you should not benefit from something that somebody you were related to. Now, you'll probably say systemic racism and how that passed down to generations. Happy to address that. The problem with reparations, though, is basically what you're saying is I'm going to take money from Charlie Kirk for something he didn't do and give it to a group of something, to somebody of something they also didn't do. For what reason? How is that just?
What's up, YouTube? Hope you guys are feeling good. Today, guys, we're back here with a new video. Today, we're going to be checking out Charlie Kirk destroy race-baiting students with facts and logic.
America should also receive reparations, descendants of slaves.
Correct.
That could be proven with.
And this brother right here seems to be African, and his original channel is the Perseverance. So this is Charlie Kirk. So obviously black people have been watching Charlie Kirk because this video has been out for a while.
Documentation,
Absolutely.
right? Okay. So to be consistent, do you believe that other groups that have been mistreated in America should also receive reparations?
What are those other groups?
Well, they're not necessarily by America, but let's just take one. Jewish Americans, right? Okay. They almost got eliminated in the Holocaust. Should they receive reparations?
Not from us.
Okay, not from us.
Not from the United States, that is.
Okay. So here's my view, and I want to hear yours, which is that I did not own slaves, and you were not a slave.
Correct.
Right. So we are individuals, and therefore we cannot be held accountable or should receive something from something that didn't happen to us or something we did not do. That is a basic law of justice, that I can't be held accountable for something that somebody looked like me did, and you should not benefit from something that somebody you were related to. Now, you'll probably say systemic racism and how that passed down to generations. Happy to address that. The problem with reparations, though, is basically what you're saying is I'm going to take money from Charlie Kirk for something he didn't do and give it to a group of something, to somebody of something they also didn't do. For what reason? How is that just?
So not so much how is it just, but there are those arguments that says because of what happened in the past, this group of people have been negatively affected from this nation's crimes against humanity to that certain group of people. And that's how we see it, or how some people see it, if you will.
Okay, sure. But I will say that even if there is some truth to that, which I wouldn't even be willing to grant very much, because Black America was doing incredibly well before the not incredible, they were pacing to be even richer than white America, is that we must look through the question of, is it just and moral to take from one group, especially first and second generation immigrants?
So is this the part that the young man was saying that Charlie Kirk said that black people was doing well before slavery? Because he said black folks were doing incredibly well in 17 or 19 something, 17 something. And then he changed it and said not incredibly well, but they were on pace to surpass white people. So is that what the guy was talking about? Doing incredibly well, and then he said not incredibly well. Let's go back. Let's hear what he was talking about.
Well before even if there is some truth to that, which I wouldn't even be willing to grant very much, because Black America was doing incredibly well before the not incredible. They were pacing to be even richer than white America. Is that we must look through the question of, is it?
Well, he changed his statement and said, not incredibly well. So you should allow a man to correct their statement. But he said they were on pace to be ahead of white people. So what we should be doing is going back to see if that's true. Were Black Americans on pace to be ahead of white people? Because I heard Thomas Sowell say this same thing. I heard Larry Elder say this same thing. We had our own buses, we had our own system, we had our own restaurants, and Black people were doing very well. It wasn't until white people came in and made people think that the grass is greener on the other side and the tea was sweeter, and people stopped buying in the Black neighborhoods and started spending their money with white people. So that's all I'm saying. If that's true, you can look that up. But instead of getting upset, just look it up.
Is it just and moral to take from one group, especially first and second generation immigrants that had nothing to do with this? So think about it. Your tax base would be taxing, like if anyone here is Irish or Polish and your family came 100 years ago, we would be taxing people that had nothing to do with it. And I'll go a step further. My family fought on the Union side of the Civil War, right? So you're going to be taxing Charlie Kirk, whose descendants fought to free the slaves, to go give money to people that were descended, from slaves. So what is a way that we could try to help all communities? Here's maybe we can find some common ground, right? Instead of reparations, is that we need to break the cartel of public sector teacher unions, allow school choice to occur, and make it easier for people, all backgrounds, but specifically Hispanic and Black individuals and young kids to have a quality education, because a good education in K through 12 is one of the most assured ways that they'll be able to succeed later in life. Secondly, we need to put fathers back in the home.
Yeah, I agree with that.
70% of Black kids are raised without a stable father in this in the country. So if we can find common ground on that, I think that would go a lot further than just giving cash for people that happen to be related to something evil that happened a little while ago.
Mr. Simple, you've said some very nasty things about me online, so the floor is yours.
Thank you. Simple question, Simple Black Theory. What do you think about blind hiring? Are you for blind hiring? No. So why not? Because blind hiring, for those you don't know, is based on merit, where you don't.
It's not.
So what's blind hiring?
Blind hiring would be that you do not put the race actually when you submit for, actually you don't even see the person when you interview them for a job.
No. That's one part of blind hiring. There's multiple ways to do blind hiring. But at the end of the day, blind hiring is exactly not knowing the person's race, age, or gender. That's based on merit. Like you said, you want merit, correct?
Well, hold on. Those things can factor into merit as well. For example, if I'm trying to hire for an Amazon warehouse worker, and all of a sudden I find out that they're at 69 with 1 year left from retirement and the age is not disclosed, wouldn't I prefer to have a 24-year-old man than a 69-year-old woman who's overweight?
You're moving the goalpost. Let's bring it back here.
No,
the whole point was about blind hiring.
No,
right?
You said race, sex, and age is not incorporated.
Correct.
I think you should have a full picture of a human being is when you hire them.
So you care about diversity?
No, actually, I don't.
How? Why? Because that's basically merit. You're focusing solely on merit. You said you want meritocracy.
Just to be clear, I want. If diversity happens naturally through meritocracy, great. If all of a sudden we have people that, no, it's not. DEI is by force.
So let me explain that.
No.
Go ahead.
I got to interject. DEI is that we are going to forcibly make an institution more colorful.
Right.
We're going to forcibly make an institution more Black. Where if all of a sudden, if half of Texas A&M was Black because it was all on merit, praise God, that's an amazing thing. It doesn't matter. If all of a sudden, for example, if the NBA is 75% Black because it's on merit, great. Terrific. If the NFL is half Black because on merit, we don't want to force race. We want excellence and meritocracy over race in every possible circumstance.
Right, my turn. Okay, so let's get into the NBA, for instance, right? Can we both agree at one point Black people weren't allowed into the NBA? And then they allow them to be in the NBA. Wouldn't that be considered diversity? Wouldn't that be DEI in itself?
No. It's actually the opposite. You're mistaken, my friend. It's actually, we're getting rid of any racial stereotyping. What happened was actually a form. No, DEI is racial stereotyping. So what actually was before was a form of white preference DEI, which is white supremacy or whatever. And then we got rid of it. We said, we're not going to discriminate it. And the quality of play got better. Do you guys see the difference between the two? You see, it's very important. Well, no, actually, I'm talking to both you and the crowd, right? I'm talking to both, right? So what ended up what you want is you actually want to bring back a form of how Major League Baseball and the NBA used to work before we desegregated.
So we can agree that Executive Order 11246 is what basically brought in DEI, correct?
I think that might be it. Is that the affirmative action one? I don't know.
No, it's not the affirmative. It's for DEI. So within that executive order, where does it say that they're solely focused on making people get into jobs? For instance, like United Airlines, right? You mentioned that. Well, let's pause that. I'm gonna get to here. So for an example of DEI is basically your daughter, right? She decides to get a job, right? And unfortunately, it's that time of the month. She goes into the bathroom. Calm down. She goes into the bathroom.
What? He was about to say what he said, then stops and talk about DEI is like a child having a period and going to the bathroom. Let's see where this is going.
No, it's not the affirmative. It's for DI. So within that executive order, where does it say that they're solely focused on making people get into jobs? For instance, like United Airlines, right? You mentioned that. Well, let's pause that. I'm gonna get to here. So for an example of DI is basically your daughter, right? She decides to get a job, right? And unfortunately, it's that time of the month. She goes into the bathroom. Calm down, calm down, calm down. She goes into the bathroom. Stop. She's going into the bathroom.
You're losing the audience.
I don't care. I'm talking to you. So she goes into the bathroom, right? And she goes into the bathroom and gets a tampon or a pad that's been given from the job. That is DEI. That is literally, yes. Yeah. You don't know. That's great. So if you don't know, DEI,
Okay.
interrupt me.
Fucked
Please.
up.
Go ahead. You want to do that, right? Or be quiet when you talk. Thank you. So, right. Can I continue? Thank you. So my thing's dead. All right. So yes, because in Executive Order 11246, they say that DEI is focusing on a safer environment and a more equitable environment within the workplace and the hiring process. Let's look at Google. Google actually does DEI. You know how they do DEI? Give me an example. Do you know Google DEI? I'm pretty sure you don't.
And they shouldn't, of course not.
What is their DEI initiative?
I actually don't know the specifics because I don't know every company specifics. However, let me ask you a question. When you're hiring somebody, would you rather hire someone that's black or someone that there is excellent?
So that's what we're talking about. That's not what DEI is.
You want to gaslight
Actually, it is. So let me prove it to you.
gaslight
As I said, according to the Student for Fair Admission Supreme Court case, black students were able to get into Harvard with
That is affirmative action,
which is
not DEI.
affirmative action.
Struck
Time
down.
out.
You're
Time
bringing
out. Time out. Time out. You're getting too worked up here.
Here's the part where I get confused. This guy's been talking the entire time, which is cool. You're there to debate, get your stuff out. But when the guy when Charlie Kirk tries to speak back to him, instead of him listening, he getting upset. Just let him make a point and then respond back. I don't see the part where he's disrespecting so much so where people should be joking or laughing about him being unalive though. Where's that part at yet? Or we not got to it yet?
Man, okay? Time out. Affirmative action is DEI in practice. You see, DEI is a theory.
Wasn't it struck down by Supreme Court?
Yes, and they still ignore it.
Man, you can't have conversations with certain people, man. You can't have conversations with certain people. Why? I like the last brother over this dude.
You bringing it up
because they're still ignoring it, my friend.
Let's focus on my question.
Hold on. Let's get back to the core macro tenet, which I think is very important.
Correct.
Which is, wouldn't you prefer a country built on excellence and merit, not one based on forced pigmentation diversity? Why does somebody's skin color matter? No, tell me what differences do you as a black man and me as a white man have, and why does it matter?
Okay. So
why does it matter?
So let's look at, because again, you don't understand what DI is, and you're trying to put it in one stance, which is not. So back to this question. So in executive order, and correct me if I'm wrong, you don't know executive order 11246, correct? So
I mean, I have an idea of what President Trump signed, correct? But because he got rid of that executive order.
Right. And in that executive order, it says literally, y'all can Google it too. It says that DEI focuses on both the workplace and hiring.
Now, so let me explain.
The
DEI initiative. Diversity.
Yes,
we should not have any forced diversity. Period. End of story.
It's not forced diversity. It does not say forced diversity, and I'll put money on that too.
Does it say diversity?
It says diversity. Yes.
Well, then it's forced diversity.
But it's not forced diversity.
So what is it? It's a suggestion.
So correct me if I'm wrong. Tell me if I'm lying. Does it say forced diversity in the executive order?
But it has the word diversity.
Does it say forced diversity in executive order?
Hold on, let me get this straight. Executive order with the word diversity.
Can I give you an example of DI initiative? Let me give you an example of DI initiative so you have a better understanding. So let's look at Google, right? Google's one of the hardest companies to actually get into. In fact, I believe there's a 0.2% chance that you actually get the job, right? They actually run a DI initiative. Their DI initiative is called a hiring committee, where they have a diverse group of people that have been working on.
Awful.
How? So you're telling me Google sucks?
Google actually is honestly.
So y'all using Bing.
Honestly, ChatGPT is way better than Google recently. I don't know about you guys. No, but honestly, to your point though, Google has lost its competitive edge in a lot of ways the last 10 years. Hold on a second. Again, Google does a lot right, but hold on. Google has lost the social media war. Google tried to launch a Facebook competitor, Instagram competitor, failed. They tried to also launch a Zoom and Skype competitor.
Conversation. That has no proof
Google's market cap, otherwise known as Alphabet, has actually missed expectations over the last 2 years versus.
This dude is behaving like a weirdo. He's up there to have a conversation. He's spinning around. He's talking to the crowd. He's showing out, showboat. Salute to you, Joe, for the super sticker. Philip Butler, salute to you. He's flipping all around. He's moving. He's doing all this stuff. I don't understand what the point is. You're trying to have a conversation. What are you laughing, moving all around, trying to stop the conversation with your emotions for? Just relax. Had a conversation.
Netflix, Amazon, and Apple and Microsoft. In fact, there was a prediction 10 years ago that Google would be the first $3 trillion company.
Right.
Turns out that it was actually Microsoft that was the first $3 trillion company. Now, of course, Alphabet is a very good company in a lot of different ways. But if your argument right now is like, well, because one of the biggest companies on the planet has embraced a bad idea, what is your argument exactly?
They're still one of the best companies in the
Not
world.
because of that, because they were built by merit and it's being destroyed by diversity.
And they use DEI to get that merit. Listen, if they're hiring people, yes, it makes sense. If you're doing a hiring process and you have a hiring committee that is DEI and they're hiring the people that's making the company as great as we just said, and your argument is that DEI takes away merit.
It does.
But if we see that Google is doing well and they're using DEI, how the hell are you saying that DEI is not making merit?
First of all, Google has not had this hiring committee around since its inception.
They have, not since its inception, but they had it for a while.
Secondly,
and the people in the committee are people who's been there for a while, which is very diverse.
Secondly, you have not answered this fundamental question, though,
Go ahead.
which is, can you tell me when an organization gets forcibly more diverse, it gets better?
Google.
Again, I just proved to you. Google.
Okay. I just gave you Google.
Again,
they use DEI. Not only are they one of the best companies. Oh yeah, I hate that argument. Great.
I mean, again, it's just they're fine. I'm not gonna like totally kind of crap on Google, but like more importantly and more broadly, I do think you have to answer the question.
So
why does skin color matter at all in hiring? Answer that question. Why does skin color matter?
So if we look at basketball, because you love talking about that, right? Can we both agree that at one point there was no black athletes, and then what happened? They diversified.
We got rid of forced segregation, which is a form of DEI.
And that diversified the basketball,
because it was based on merit.
Was it diversified?
Yes, but not by force. No, hold on a second.
Very much.
Hold on, but if your argument is that if you want to make things more merit-based, then let's do it.
It is more merit-based.
Hold on a second.
They made it diversifying. They diversified basketball, bringing black people who are good in it.
Nothing you're saying is making any sense.
Okay,
because what they did.
Of course.
Man, this dude yelling, making a fool out of his damn self when they desegregated basketball, making it to where it's not DEI, basically white EI, to where only white players can play. Now it was merit based to where if anybody is good enough, white or black or whatever color, because Hispanic people could have joined, Asians. They didn't just say we lifting it for only black people. They didn't let no other race play. It was just for white people. It was just for white men. And now everybody can play the game. So anybody who's good enough can play. I don't understand what this dude don't understand about that.
The NBA went to pure merit, pure excellence. Are you good at this? That's all they cared about.
They allowed black people in, right?
Exactly, because prior.
Okay, then.
Hold on. Because you know what they had prior was a form of racial stereotyping. And you want more racial stereotyping. Your worldview is indecipherable from the KKK.
So
what you want, it's indecipherable because you are race obsessed. I am not race obsessed.
No, you
talk
are,
about
though.
the race. You talk about race more than the Grand Wizard of the KKK.
Right.
Because
I'm the Grand Wizard of the KKK.
Well, think about it. I said your worldview. Think about it.
Yeah.
Because you're around talking about race all the time. I'm talking about character. Which of
you talk about race all the time? You literally said DEI is based on race when it's not.
Because
it's
I'm explaining
with accessibility.
And you're getting really upset.
You're right, because you keep lying. For instance, right? I've been trying to say this. DI, one part of DI is literally giving women tampons or pads at work.
We get this back again.
Yeah, you're laughing because you don't know that.
Giving women tampons is a form of DEI.
Yes, it is. You know why? Let me explain. Yeah, y'all know. I got you. I'm about to explain to you guys. So basically what happens is, the reason why we have DEI is the fact that in a job location, right, they want to hire more people diverse. So what these initiatives, these goals, these aspirations that they're doing is trying to bring more people in. For instance, like if what's that store? Trader Joe's, right? They let people sit down while they they bring stuff in. They help disability. That's DI. That helps disabled people.
This man, Charlie Kirk, is just sitting back, just listening, letting this dude talk. He speak a little bit, letting this man get his thoughts and ideals out. I still haven't figured out where the part at where we should be so outraged. I do have a video that somebody sent me that I'm going to try to make sense of. I'll play that next.
get a job at Trader Joe's. But what you're telling me is that we are not allowed to tell people that for like onboarding in itself is also DEI. When they explain to you sexual harassment, when they do all these things, when they make it more a safer place, that is DEI. And what you're saying is that the workplace shouldn't be safe. What you're saying is that more companies should have discrimination lawsuits.
Let's get back.
That's what DEI
let's
stops.
get back.
Discrimination lawsuits.
DEI is racial quotas. End of story.
Give me one racial
United
quota. Give me one.
Airlines.
I googled that.
So
Go
yeah.
ahead.
Oh,
I
you
googled it.
Okay, great.
Yes.
So
go ahead, continue.
This guy's crazy.
What did United Airlines announce? Because you know what I said about black pilots. What did they announce when it came to pilots? And why should skin color matter when you board an airplane?
So just to remind everybody, is Charlie Kirk's idea. He basically, stop talking. So Charlie Kirk basically.
Ooh, that's very misogynist. That's not very DEI of you.
All right, let me finish cooking. So, right.
You ain't cooking, bro.
So can I finish? So Charlie Kirk said that they're basically hiring women of color to make 40 or 50%, right? But when you actually look into it, what happens is
women and people of color.
Right, women and people of color. What happens is they're creating a program that's allowing women to train to become pilots. If you actually look at the requirements for these programs, it's nothing different than any other program that trains pilots. But you told people that they're just hiring women when that's not true.
First of all, I never said that.
Secondly, yes, you did. I did a video on it, guy.
Yes, I know what I said. Secondly, when you hire based on race and not on excellence, you end up compromising the standards of excellence.
They're not hiring based
Allow
on
me
race,
to
though.
finish without interrupting.
All right, go ahead.
When you hire based on race and not on excellence, you end up compromising excellence to be able to pursue race. We know this with Harvard, University of California. We know this with major companies. We know this with the government. Exactly. DEI. That is affirmative action is DEI philosophy in
struck down
practice.
already. You're bringing OG has been
Allow
struck
me
down.
to finish
That's
my
crazy.
statement.
Go
They
ahead.
are actively defying the Supreme Court decision, or they're.
Salute to the new member, Matt. How you say that? Burrs? I can't say that. I don't want to fuck it up. But Charlie Kirk can't even finish a sentence without this dude keep talking. Salute to you, Sean. 10 Kwame Brown Bus Life memberships. Salute. But I'm trying to figure out what in the heck is going on with this dude not being able to just allow somebody to finish a sentence and then you continue on saying what you want to say. You said everything you wanted to say, but this man can't say anything.
Contorting their policies to try to fit their own DEI agenda. But let me ask you a question. If you were to board a United Airlines,
I ain't get the finish. Right.
If you were to board a flight with United Airlines, would you rather have a pilot that is qualified or one that is diverse? Answer the question.
Wait, that makes no sense. Why is there two different things? How is it different? When you go to American Airlines.
Because in the pursuit of diversity, you sacrifice excellence every time. We know this with Harvard. We know this with Yale. We know this with the military. Every time, every example that we pursue diversity, an institution becomes less excellent.
So
it becomes subpar.
When you go on a plane, do you go to the pilot and ask for credentials, or do you believe that the airline did the right thing and hired? So you ask.
No,
for
I
their
don't.
credentials.
Actually,
you
I'm
don't.
starting. Hold on. I
for
start
some
to doubt
reason,
it.
we
That
can
was
have
my
both
statement.
diversity and
That
merit
was my
things.
statement. My statement was when you're going to if you're going to go from 4% of the pilots being black to 50% of the pilots to be black, it begs the question: you are going to lower the standards.
So my
you are
question
going. You're going to put a square peg through a round hole. You are going to force something that naturally is not happening, and you will all of a sudden be playing a very treacherous and dangerous game when you board a plane. When I get heart surgery or if I board a plane, I don't care about the color of the skin of the person doing it. I want excellence and I want meritocracy.
It's excellent.
Yes. So stop talking. Are you talking? So let's get back to because you're talking a lot.
Final point, then I'll get to the next question.
Yeah, that's fair. Okay, so again, going back to what you said, because like I said earlier ago, you said, and I forgot this is ISU, you basically said that that women are being hired to become pilots, right? Now, first, that's a lie. That's based on a program. Second, correct me if I'm wrong, becoming a pilot is based on skill, correct? It's not based on height. It's not based on physicality. It's based on nothing. It's based on skill, meaning
Not
that
always.
if you're being so what is it based on?
Because based on a now public lawsuit with the Department of Transportation in 2016, 2017, air traffic controllers and pilot standards were lowered in pursuit of
Not
diversity
true. I
goals.
looked at that too.
Because of over
They
15.
added more
Let me
shit.
finish. Because of 15 whistleblowers that said the standard of air traffic controllers and pilots were being sacrificed in the pursuit of diversity,
You're lying
equity,
again.
and inclusion.
You're lying again.
Okay, I mean people can do their own independent research, and they
I've
also
done it, and you're lying. They actually made it harder. They add more scenarios within the FAA.
Again, everybody
you
here
can Google it right now.
Yeah. Okay. Again, the documents bear out.
Man, this is what emotions look like. He's just yelling and shouting and saying things that you can look up and see that this guy is not being truthful. But he's yelling, and I guess because they have a difference of opinion and one is more fact-based, he's upset by it. I don't get it, but hey, that's him.
Exactly. We now have we have air traffic controllers after air traffic controllers have said, in the pursuit of making air traffic controlling more diverse, we have then lowered the quality of air traffic control.
So at the end of all this, what you basically told me is that if merit matters, it doesn't matter, because when we mentioned blind hiring, you said you're against that, which is based on merit.
No, time out. They said that they want to prioritize a group above what is meritocratic.
I didn't say that.
That's what United Airlines said. They said
I'm
half.
So confident.
They
read
said
the
half.
executive order out loud right now in front of everybody.
Again, they said half of all their new hires.
You got Cook.
Again,
hey, thank you.
We have clarity, and the clarity is very simple. We want a country based on content and merit. He wants a retribalization of America. Thank you.
Okay. Hi, Charlie. How are you? Good.
Who is sounding like that?
Okay, so I'm gonna give a little bit of a backstory on myself. I'm Jaden Clark. I'm a student here. Freshman year, I was hate crime 5 times in one night. Okay, 3 of them by Trump supporters.
What happened to you?
Okay, for one of them, I was just walking, and then I see this truck full of 4 white men pass by me, MAGA apparel, everything, you know. And then
did they say this is MAGA country?
Anyways, they drove past me, and they were like, "You need to bend over."
So they said the N-word on campus to you.
Well, yes.
Oh yeah. Okay. So what happened to them when you reported them?
I didn't report them.
Oh, really? Okay. So maybe it didn't happen.
Okay. Anyways,
I don't believe you. I'll be honest. I don't believe you. I think you're making it up.
Okay. Anyways,
I refuse to believe that somebody on this campus would go around and sheepishly call you the N-word. I refuse to believe that. I think you're lying.
Anyways, next instance, they threatened to rape me and then just drove off.
Hold on. So a bunch of Trump guys who are largely white heterosexual males then also threatened to rape you?
Different group of people, but yes.
All in one night?
All in one night, sir.
I think you're making this up.
Okay, that's
makes
fine.
no sense.
But what evidence do you have for this? Do you have like corroborating witnesses? Do you have cameras? Do you have license plate numbers? Because now we're talking about crimes. Threatening to rape you is an intent of a crime. Did you go to the police? You file a police report? You hire an attorney? You sue the school? Did you go to the civil rights office? Do you file a civil rights complaint? Did you do any of that? Because you should.
Okay.
No, did you? Tell me. Yes or no?
I did not. But
Why?
I'm not going to argue with you.
No, but you're coming in front of 2,000 people to say it. Why did you not go to the university and say this happened?
He's
Okay,
lying.
because how would I report them?
Anyway, there's hotlines all over this campus. You guys have nothing but like, if something happens to you, I think you're making this up. I think you're doing this to try to make a point.
Okay.
I don't think there's any evidence.
I can promise you, God as my witness, I am not. Anyways.
No, but seriously, why don't you today commit? Let's do this. I'm going to show you the university official. Why don't you go file a Department of Education complaint, and let's find these terrible people that did this to you. Can we agree?
Okay.
Okay.
I'll think
And by the way, we'll be able to look at security camera footage, and we'll see.
Okay, I'll think about
But you didn't do that.
Can I try to finish?
You'll think about it. Hold on. Why wouldn't you want to do that immediately?
Can I talk?
It's crazy.
No, but you're making a serious accusation. Please,
And I'm not going to argue with you about my personal experiences. Anyways.
It didn't happen, man.
Okay, that's cool. Anyways, I feel like every time I step foot on this campus, I have a wall of vitriol and hate at my back. And to the audience, I say to you, these are your fathers, these are your siblings, and these are your neighbors. So y'all need to clock them. And I hate overgeneralizing, but I'm not going to say all Trump supporters are racist, but a good amount. Anyways, my question to you is, if you have one message to say.
I got no power, so I can't be racist. So I don't believe that. Yeah, I don't got no power, so I can't be racist.
To these people with the hate in their hearts, what would you tell them?
I would tell you to stop lying.
What would you tell them? Not to me.
No, honestly, I think you're Jussie Smollett at this campus. I think you're completely making this whole thing up.
Make an entire thing.
Damn. Dude called him Jesse Smollett. I think you making this whole thing up. Now, is that him being hateful? Is this the hateful part? Because his opinion is the guy made this whole other person made this whole thing up. Is that the hate that everybody's talking about? That he called him Jesse Smollett and called him a liar? This one individual person?
You are a complete liar, because I am now giving you an opportunity to report this at the high. I will bring this to Linda McMahon, the head of the Department of Education in the federal government. I will make sure these people are arrested by Kash Patel, the head of the FBI. And you'll say, oh, I'll think about it. Because you're...
Now, that's an interesting thing. Now, hold up now. If he offered to get the person that harmed you arrested by Kash Patel and the FBI director, then wait a minute now. Why didn't you go and tell if you're so offended? Why didn't you find out who did what? So they ask and get arrested. Shoot, if he told me that much power, I'd have probably got somebody arrested I ain't even like. Now let me stop. But dang, he not trying to diss him. He said, I just think you lying. But if you are telling the truth, then hell, I'll stand with you. I'll help you arrest the person. So where's the hate in that? Where's the hate in that?
Making this up. No. You're doing this for a political purpose. So will you? No, seriously. Kash Patel will get involved. Yes, it's a hate crime. That's not acceptable. Well, hold on. No, will you do this or not?
That's really cute, Charlie. But I'm trying to give you the opportunity to alleviate hate within this.
Did you want to say?
No. But hold on.
If you're trying to get him the opportunity to alleviate hate, and he gonna call Kash Patel on the person who hated on you, then why aren't you listening to him and finding out who did whatever to you? I don't understand. What is going on, homeboy? Or whatever. This is crazy.
A second. There's no hate. There's just love of America here in this audience. That's all that's here today, okay? That's all that's here. But back to you. I heard your accusation. I'm now going to go to the University of Tennessee and tweet this and say, hey, this is a serious accusation. I want the governor to get involved, by the way. Okay. The governor's get involved. I'm going to call Marsha Blackburn. I'm now going to call Big Haggerty. I know all these people, and we're going to find out really quickly if you're telling the truth or not, because you just came in front of 2,000 people, and we're going to go bring in the police. We'll bring in the FBI, because what you just said is unacceptable. You said Trump supporters called you the N-word. That is no place in America, and they threatened to rape you. That is no place in America. But you know what else is no place in America? Lying and saying it happened to you. So we'll find out really quick if you're telling the truth or not.
That's yeah. But like, can you answer my question though? If you
He said we're going to find out really quick if you're telling the truth or not. I don't understand what's wrong with that. As of 2020, 99% of college campuses have cameras all over the campus. Well, this person said, salute to you. This person said that they were going to be great and that somebody from MAGA called them the N-word. And Charlie Kirk is condemning their behavior. He's saying that's unacceptable, and I'll call all these people that I know that can help with this situation. I don't understand how he's disrespecting black people, but maybe this ain't the video. You just hate your own people. So I hate my own people because the guy said, I will call Kash Patel, the FBI director, and I'll eradicate that from the campus because there's no place for it. And I hate black people because I heard him say that. Did you hear anything different? I think you hate black people because you will lie to them instead of telling them the truth. You're a liar, and lying to black people is hate. If you love people, you tell them the truth, you lying ass nigga, you.
My message to everyone in the audience, keep loving America.
Simple.
But
what about loving your neighbor?
Just so you know, this is going to become a very big issue. We're going to put this on social media because nowhere in America should you be allowed to go in front of a microphone with no evidence, no willingness to report, no likelihood to talk to police and say, oh, this happened to be at night, and ruin the reputation of half the country and say that they wanted to go me and call me the N-word. That is gross.
Okay. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. You'll be hearing from a lot of institutions, and if you did indeed lie, you will be civilly liable for smearing this university publicly for a very big number. We'll find out if you're telling the truth. Thank you.
Oh, so because he didn't just accept what was said, and he wanted to find out the truth, he lied. He against black people. No good son bitch.
He's lying. It's obvious.
Make sure you add me.
It's obvious.
I will. Thank you. Hope you have a good lawyer. Thank you.
Hope you have a good lawyer.
And I want you to understand the implications of this. No one has had the stones to stand up to this stuff for years past. And so many innocent people have been drugged into this crap, saying that all the white people are coming.
Find the clips I don't want to see clips. I want to see his whole video so I can see context. But you want me to watch clips? Find the clips where he's calling Floyd a scumbag and talking about BLM. You ain't trying to talk bad about dude because it's bad for the algorithm. It's bad for the algorithm to talk bad about him. Charleston White just went viral talking bad about him. I mean, the sensitivity that's oozing from people's throat and the lies that they got to tell to justify their emotions is weird. Charleston White literally just went viral for talking bad about him. Do you think before you speak?
After me. I don't believe it. It's wrong, and we're putting an end to it.
Yeah. You got an anti-DEI shirt on, so this is about to get good. I personally believe in DEI. I think that actually helps with creating inclusivity within PWIs and predominantly white institutions.
I would say DEI stands for didn't earn it, but that's a separate issue.
Ooh, didn't earn it. You've been working on it? Type. So yes, a lot of people think that.
Yeah, so I don't know what DEI looks like on this campus. Yeah, so I can't speak to that. Do you think people should be hired based on their race or their competency?
I don't think that. I think they should.
You said if you are a criminal, a drug addict, a grifter, you are a scumbag, no matter the color. Well, I guess you racist, and I know you black, so you can't be racist.
Be racist. I think
Which one?
My fault. I'm sorry. My fault. I think that they should be hired based off their competency, not their race.
We totally agree, right?
Okay.
So what DEI does in practice, not in theory, is it focuses on race more than competency. And
okay.
That is our concern.
Okay.
And so what I want, and you seem, very passionate about a lot of things, and you obviously have skills. For your life, I want you always to be judged on the content of your character, not the color of your skin. Where DEI says, no, we're actually going to care more about skin color than competency.
So wait a minute. Charlie Kirk essentially told this guy what Martin Luther King told all of us black people. And somehow Charlie Kirk hate us. I'm confused. He told us what MLK told us. So what's the issue? Why are black people getting involved in this bullshit? I'm confused. Remember when we thought Kwame was smart? We found out really quick he's just 7 foot tall clown. Oh, more insults. Man, you're proving me wrong. You know what? The more you insult me, you're just proving me so wrong. For Kwame going over the videos, getting a better understanding of Charlie Kirk. And based on the videos I see, I don't see the rhetoric that you're talking about yet. And now I'm a coon. You did. Oh no. God dang, boy. So that's the only criteria, disagreement, and then that's when you ain't shit. You're so adult. You're such an adult.
Mm-hmm. And so what we want is an America based on merit, America based on how hard you work, an America based on what you bring to the table, not just what you look like.
If you had a son or a daughter and they came out to you and they said, Charlie, I'm gay, or Charlie, I'm trans, what would be your course of action in that? Like, would you still support them?
If they came out as trans, I'd say, no, honey, you're a girl, or no, my son, you're a boy. I don't affirm delusions. You do not affirm what is harmful or what is not true. And you must find the underlying issue as to why this is happening. 75% of minors that are trans are girls. 75%. Largely found because of social contagions of young ladies that are on the autism spectrum that most times are having puberty anxiety and are being bullied or feel self-conscious for changes that are happening to their body. What we are told is that we must stop puberty, that puberty is the problem. In reality, 99% of the time, puberty is the solution to a lot of these trans issues. Yes. That you allow puberty to work its course, all of a sudden, the girl becomes a woman and she feels a lot more at home and safe for how she is and comfortable as she is. That's the worst time to have psychological interventions at that time. Young women have always been more prone to social contagions. And transgenderism is a social contagion. A 5,000% increase in transgenderism is not normal. It wasn't like within everybody, is an external force upon our nation's youth.
This was very interesting to watch.
Boy, that's what got Charlie Kirk in trouble to me. When you got numbers saying that they're increasing these things, if you notice, a lot of these actors and these people that are adopting kids, a lot of their kids are turning to trans and turning all these things. So that might have got Charlie Kirk in a little bit of a situation. They don't want you talking. It's a known fact that you don't supposed to be talking. These people get offended very quickly and and some people want to harm you. Not all, not all. So somebody sent a video and they sent it to me. And they said this is the video that showed all the hatred of Charlie Kirk. So I'm gonna play it. Charlie Kirk Racist Playbook. And this is Tim Black TV. So let me play what he said and let's go. Hopefully he's playing his commentary and I'm not playing someone's opinion.
Some of my thoughts. These are the things that went racing through my mind when I found out that Charlie Kirk had met his demise.
Of course we pander to blacks. They're in every TV commercial. They get more privilege.
He said we pander to black people. You know, there are people that actually believe that.
I do believe people pander to black people. I think they pander to our women. I think they pander. What is so racist about that statement? And we're not going to get a full gist of what's going on if these are just clips. These are clips of what he said. The man stopped what he said in 2 seconds. How am I supposed to learn what Charlie Kirk's thoughts are if they cut him off after 2 seconds? Now, I understand that there's certain people that don't like certain people, but don't force me not to like somebody based on clips and the way that you generalized what the person said. Let me hear what they said in totality, and then I can make my own decision. And it may be outside of yours. And we don't got to be upset about it. Charlie Kirk is our generation MLK, but they're not going to accept that because he's white. But salute to you. If black people follow Kirk's advice, prosperity. Zero Dark 30. Salute to you. And this is Northern Heat. But I don't think I'm going to get anything from this video because it's not playing his actual words in its totality. I don't know the dialogue from when you stopped what he said. And that's why I think so many black people are upset. Yeah, I think that's why black people are so upset. Black liberals are furious over black Democrat major bending to the knee. Yeah. And I think it's crazy. Let's see. Let me find another video. I want to see like what's a controversial video. We got to find one that they can say. Let's see. Obama never said that. Oh, this should be interesting. So this lady says something that looks like this might be good. She say, black people are smarter than white people. I think this should get heated. And maybe he gonna disrespect this black lady for what she said. This is on Michael Duffy. Let's see if he disrespect her based on what
You guys gotta check this out.
We watched 3 videos of yours, best top 10 Charlie Kirk debate moments of 2024.
Oh, no.
Students enraged that I say college is a scam, and 10 unforgettable Charlie Kirk debates that shook 2024.
It's not about giving the brother a chance. Look how you trying to sway my opinion, Chris. I don't want to hear what the brother think about Charlie Kirk. I want to hear what Charlie Kirk said that was so offensive. And if you stop what Charlie Kirk said after 2 seconds to say that he said something wrong without full context, then I don't think I'm going to learn anything from that video. And I'm sorry that you find that offensive, but I'm just, for me personally, I don't think I'm going to learn anything from that video. You might have learned something from it, but I just can't. I got to see the full video. So if you go get the full video without his commentary, then I can learn from that video. This last black guy that was up there, he didn't interrupt the video the entire time.
And I picked 3 different topics that I think are important to me, which comes down to immigration, affirmative action, and DEI, and college is a scam. But the one I want to talk to you about the most is affirmative action and DEI. And in these videos, you have said, quote for quote, white males have high test scores, white males shouldn't have to be penalized. You did acknowledge and say that people of color come from lower socioeconomic backgrounds that do not prioritize education much. But instead of making a suggestion on how to help those communities and continue to like build those communities up, you continue to say that
Oh, wow, another attack. I actually need people to commentate for me when I actually been up here this whole time commentating for myself. So I'm not sure what you mean by I need somebody to commentate for me when I'm up here commentating on my own. Just because I understand you and your feelings and you mad that I didn't get out of the video what you did. I think I was very logical in my response. I think the brother cut the video off too quickly, and I don't think I'm going to get nothing out of that. Now, if you want to send me the full video of the same exact thing, I'm pretty sure I can, do what I need to do. But if you're not going to do that, then there's nothing I can do, right? So calm down.
institutions are becoming less excellent. And I'm confused as to what your definition of excellence is. Is that because white males aren't necessarily, in your opinion, getting accepted as in a higher rate, even though they technically are, because 41% of college admitted students are of the white race?
It should be higher than that. Yeah.
Based on what? Where are you getting the statistic? I just want to understand.
It's a good question. The Supreme Court did a whole case on this, and it ruled against affirmative action. And we saw the books of Harvard. So
I don't want to cut you off. May I know so like for future reference, so I can understand where you're coming from and get more context, could I know the Supreme Court case?
Yeah. So it's the name. It's 2.5 years ago. I think it was something out of California. Someone look it up. You could use Grok or ChatGPT.
If somebody could please look that up for me. Thank you.
So we saw the data out of Harvard. Harvard was the test case, and effectively approximating, but a white male had to get about a 30% higher test score to even be considered than an equivalent black student.
And when was this?
Over 30 years. Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think so. So basically for a black student, they could do 30% worse on their standardized scores than an equivalent white student.
And you don't think that has any outside factors to do with it?
Well, that's not the point. The point is whether or not.
But how is that not the point?
Because I don't believe we should accommodate based on outside factors. You do.
Well, I do, because I believe in progression. And I feel like you have stated in multiple of your videos, which I do have a quote.
No, fair enough. I'm just making sure we understand we disagree.
I
don't think we should change the rules of the game to accommodate.
What were the rules of the game?
Well, the rules of the game are that you should be treated fairly and equally, right?
For sure.
That's an American principle.
And I agree with that completely.
Got it. So therefore, a white male should not be treated differently than a black male.
But when you come from a different...
Doesn't matter. Equal treatment or not. It's not whether or not you were said mean things when you grew up or whether your dad was a gangbanger. Doesn't matter.
Well, I'm not saying that's not the outside factors I'm talking about.
It doesn't matter what the outside factors are.
But can I explain where I'm coming from?
But understand, I'm going to finish and I'll let you talk.
Okay, of
Equal
course.
treatment is regardless of any sort of sob story you could put on before it. Equal treatment. Test score.
And I completely agree with that. But I also come from a predominantly white town, so I understand what you're trying to say. In my district, we have so much funding, and I live in the Florida Keys, so there's a lot of funding that comes to my school, and you can drive 30 miles north and you end up in Homestead, where they have a fraction of the funding that we have, and they don't have as much of the same testing instructors and people to help them, and have as much of the same outside resources. And then you can keep going another 30 miles and you end up in Miami, where all the private schools are, and they get even more funding than where I come from. And not that obviously I ended up where I am today because I continue to push through, and I didn't let any outside factors affect me. But at the end of the day, I kept going, and some people don't have that same ability.
You want to live in a truly merit-based society? None of that matters. School worse put in the demand people who
donations from the people in your
Fair
community.
enough, but Florida has,
and I know for a fact that my community gets many donations.
Florida has the most. You could use equitable funding structure of any school, and has universal school choice, basically. So that's number one. Number two, explain to me why, when we're admitting people for a job, should it just be what's on that piece of paper, or should race play into the factor?
So I know that your argument is mediocrity. I forgot. I don't
mediocrity.
Okay, yeah, and I know that, and I also believe in quotas as well. But I don't think that it should be one and one, but they should go hand in hand. Because at the end of the day, if I have just as good as a resume as somebody next to me, I wanna understand where you're getting that jobs are just taking people because they're a woman.
She's not going to answer the question because he asked a very simple question, but let's go back and see if she's going to answer the question or she's going to redirect.
Mediocre.
Should race admitting people for a job, should it just be what's on that piece of paper, or should race play into the factor?
So I know that
He's asking a simple question. Should race play into a factor? And she's going to talk about what she knows. She's going to talk about all this other stuff. But what she's not going to do, she's not going to answer the question. Now, I don't know if me acknowledging that or seeing that that's happened, I don't know if that makes me a coon, a Sambo, or whatever else, because I acknowledge and I know that she didn't answer the question. But I don't know. I guess so.
your argument is mediocrity. I forgot. I don't
mediocrity.
Okay, yeah, and I know that, and I also believe in quotas as well. But I don't think that it should be one and one, but they should go hand in hand. Because at the end of the day, if I have just as good as a resume as somebody next to me, I wanna understand where you're getting that jobs are just taking people because they're a woman, because they are Black. I just want to see. And I understand what you're trying to say because of course, with affirmative action and DEI, that does give them an upper hand. But where does it say that you take somebody just because of that color?
All over the place. Capitol Street Partners back in the summer of 2022 said that they will not hire white men for internships. That's one example of thousands I could give.
But because of how many people are in there, how many people in
because
position?
they wanted to be. Again, that's irrelevant. It does not matter if you have an internship and everyone is a white man. If they're all qualified, that's great. Doesn't matter if they're all Asian or all Black. It should be what merit qualification gets the people into that position.
And of course, but if this school only wanted white people to attend.
No. Good, like excellent qualified people. And if they end up majority white, who cares? Why does that matter?
I don't think that matters. I'm saying that affirmative action.
No, saying it matters.
I'm saying that, but I'm not saying for the white male or the Black race or the Asian race or the Indian race, or understand what I'm saying? I'm saying that it works in favor for any race and any sex. It works, and it does 1000%. And I don't understand where you're getting that information.
It is anti-white racism that was in the fiber of our laws that is now getting away thanks to President Donald Trump, where if you were a white man, especially to apply for internships, jobs, going to college, that it was significantly harder to get those jobs, to get into those practices, because there were quotas that made it easier for people other skin colors with lower standards to be able to get those positions. We agree there's only so many slots in a college. Right? There's only so many positions in an internship. It's a limited supply.
I completely agree.
It is scarcity. So when you have a scarce resource, you have to decide how you're going to divvy up that scarce resource.
For sure.
In a DEI model, they're going to say, okay, we're not going to do any more than 30% white, and then we'll do 15%. And so you kind of come up with these quotas. Therefore, they end up saying, well, what happens if the 15% Black is not qualified? They don't care, which ends up happening far too often. Or what happens if the
Can you give me examples of cases?
Yeah, air traffic control is actually a really good example. We now have all the documents that show that we went on a hiring spree to have more black air traffic controllers. There's a huge lawsuit about this, 15, 16, 17, where the standards for air traffic control have dropped so dramatically, and you're kind of seeing some of the effects of that potentially. And again, it's in almost every single corporate practice, every single college institution. But it just kind of comes down to more of a moral argument that I have, which is that if you have something based on merit, I don't care if it's all black, all Asian, all white. It's an excellent group is what I want, not a diverse group. I care about excellence, not diversity, because I do not believe diversity is a strength.
It honestly goes back to what Martin Luther King Jr. said 70 years ago. You shouldn't judge others by the color of their skin, but more so the content of their character. If you
Hello, but they don't want to do that no more. We got to judge everything by color. We want, what do we want? Black, black, black. Black leadership. Black, black, black. You want black. Give me black. Hey, now everybody mad because I didn't go finish this, the guy that they want me to look at his talking point. So, hold on. Let me see something, man. Let me go back to the guy that they mad at. Let me make sure we get him a fair shake, man. We don't want, even though they cut the opinion off, you know, I got to hear the dude's opinion and not Charlie Kirk.
That America panders to black people. We're the last picked and first fired. The level of discrimination that black people have faced in this country is bar none the platinum edition. And this guy says, America panders to black people. Look what we do for them. We gave them affirmative action without even for a second admitting that the primary beneficiary of affirmative action were white women. And who do white women marry? White guys. So the white family were the primary beneficiaries of affirmative action. It's just facts.
Privileges to come into society. They come into every college on preferential with lower test scores. You can't ever say anything negative. You can lose your job.
He said you can't ever say anything negative to black people. He means call them ninjas.
Come on, man. I know damn well y'all ain't asked me to listen to this. He meant calling them ninjas. Come on, man. The man just stated what he said, and I didn't hear him say calling them ninjas. Like, come on, man. The man say you can't say nothing bad to him. Okay? You may not agree with that. You may think he's wrong. You know that some white folks can't say what we can say to them. We can call them cracker, like Charlemagne the God say, and not get fired. They call you the N-word and everybody find out about it, they fired. So I don't understand what's so wrong about that. But hey, y'all want me to listen to this for whatever reason, it's cool. I don't know who they is that trained me. I'm a grown individual that make my own decisions. So do not disrespect me like that, that think that I'm not of sound mind and body and making my own decisions, brother. There's no they. I just heard a person that said he's stating his opinion. This is not fact. I don't go off of what everybody think about. This is not fact. He's stating his opinion from a white male's perspective. I've never been a white male, but I do know I can say more shit to them than they can say to me. I can go the fuck off, and they better not go the fuck off the way I go. So I don't understand what people are talking about, but hey, it is what it is. Maybe it's an opinion that you just don't agree with.
Affirmative action were white women. And who do white women marry? White guys. So the white family were the primary beneficiaries of affirmative action. It's just facts.
Privileges to come into society. They come into every college on preferential with lower test scores. You can't ever say anything negative. You can lose your job.
He said you.
Or instead of just challenging what he said black people go in colleges with a lower test score and you can't say nothing negative to them. And what's the outrage? Can you just look up what he's saying? I don't understand. What's the issue? They're outraged over that.
can't ever say anything negative to black people. He means call them ninjas. That's what he means. That's what he means. He means call us an N-word. And for this, I'm getting all types of hate mail and people saying screw you and unsubscribing. For this guy who says, my people, no one can say anything bad about us? Really? I mean, it's okay to be a conservative, be what you want to be, but live in reality. There were entire industries on shitting on black people. There was an entire movie scene that the whole thing was about exploiting black people. It was called Black Exploitation films. There's no Asian exploitation films. There's no white guy exploitation films. Just black people.
I know, because he gave no context into none of this. I'm pretty sure Charlie Kirk was asked a question, and then he was replying to the question. But this is why I wanted to watch the full video on my own, because they're not going to allow for you, some people that has a bias, they're not going to allow for you to hear everything on your own. They're not going to allow for you to do that. This guy right here called me a name, and then now he said the chickens have come on to roost. Wow.
Exploitation films. And this guy sits in front of these people and puts this out. See what I'm saying? And I think what it is since white Americans do not have a history we do, they just see it as an opinion. Before we go any further, let me let you know, the Tim Black Wolfpack is dedicated, committed. That's because they're not really emotionally or physically connected to.
If you say something racist, and yet we have to hear about how racist.
Why do you
entire life obliterated? If you say something racist, and yet we have to hear about how racist.
Why do you have to say anything racist? You have your whole life obliterated. Really? The obliterated would be what happened to that school, or to the churches we were in, or to our towns that your granddaddy blew up because we started making money of our own. That's obliterated. Mel Gibson not being able to make a new movie for.
I'm still trying to figure out what are they offended by with his words, though, but I'm trying to get it. I'm trying to get what he's trying to get me to understand.
A decade was not obliterated. He was still very rich. I mean, I don't understand, but I do understand. This is considered the war of words. Now, some things are just lies. And who's destroying them? And look, guys, you know what? I don't want to take too much time on each point, but I tell you, it's upsetting because black people do not have the ability to cancel you. If anybody's canceling you, it's other white people. Frankly, they're the ones with the buying power and the numbers to cancel you, and the positions to cancel you. Black people can't cancel white people, and you know that. Any more than you can cancel black people who do black clubs. Why do you think most of my audience has changed? Because I learned the hard way. White people cancel Negroes quick. Get out of line, Negro. But we really don't have the ability to cancel white people. Not unless they're in our industry.
So we don't have the ability to cancel white people. I think that's a horrible thing to say, because one of our biggest powers is our spending powers. And I think if we don't support people and support our own race, then we would cripple some of the base in the things that we put our money into. So, yeah, I don't agree with that statement. You can cancel anybody through the way you direct your finances. So, I don't know. Kwame, you hiring a motherfucker. No, I'm not. I'm sitting in the room. I'm not smoking. I'm just chilling. But I don't agree with this statement. Through your buying power, you can control a lot of stuff. You can create jobs and create businesses. Why you think I don't want to just get a job? I want to create business. I want to create, build homes. I don't want a job, because once you build homes and you create jobs, it's a whole different ball game. It's a whole different way you are respected. But so I don't agree with that part of it.
There's not many industries we own that we can do that. We don't even own rap music. What could we cancel? How the hell can black people cancel white people? Let's keep going, man.
Black people can cancel white people by opening up their own distribution company that we don't have, because everybody seemed to be scared. And we could distribute our own music and go direct to consumer. And there's a lot of black labels now, you know, Jay Prince and all these black labels. You had Rockefeller, you had Murder Inc. These guys that build these million-dollar companies that rivaled the white companies, that superseded and passed the white companies. This crap BS is just clips and BS talking. I know, Nacho, but Murder Inc. was taking over the game. Murder is murder. They was taking over the game. Those guys made plenty money. Ain't nobody told them to be involved with guys that was in the streets in real life, though. All you got to do is come up with, go ahead and distribute your own music and shop with black folks and stop always running to go to Vlad TV, Adam 22. We don't even go to our own black music podcasters. We wasn't going to Math Hoffa until I said something, and a lot of people said something about it. You can damn sure cancel them by shopping and spending money with your people. But we cancel ourselves better than we cancel white folk. We always go shop with the white folk. Sometimes you got to ask yourself, are you pro-black or anti-white? Yeah, I don't think they pro-black. I think they're anti-white. Because pro-blacks, I could be pro-black because I'm going to put my people first. I think everybody should be pro their people first. If you white, you should be pro-white first. Duh, unless you're a self-hater. If you black, you should be pro-black first. Duh, unless you're a self-hater. But at the end of the day, I don't get the point. I don't understand this. When I'm not going to speak to black folk from this loser mentality talking about what we can't do. How in the world can we say 1 minute we can do all things through Christ who strengthens us, and then on the next minute say what we can't do? So we need to go to the church house and tell the pastors, you are a lie. I can't do all things through Christ who strengthened me because this white man is stronger than God. Let's just go ahead and tell them, I believe this white man is stronger than God. So I do not think I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. I don't think I can do it. How can you have it both ways? How can you fear no man but God, but you always talking about this scary ass white boy? This mythical, scary white boy that I'm supposed to be scared of. Like I'm supposed to be so scary because this is a scary white man waiting on us. How can we do that? Pastor gonna rebuke you? Yeah, I'm gonna go there to church and say, you a damn lie, pastor. I can't do all things through Christ who strengthened me. The white man gonna stop it. The white man gonna stop it. I can't do this shit. Don't tell me about God. I can't stop it. But I believe in God. I believe I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. I don't want to be around no crybaby nigga that want to keep talking about it. I'm not saying this dude is a crybaby nigga. I just don't agree with his commentary. I'm just saying there's some people out there that's crybaby niggas, and I don't want to be around those types. You know, I want to be in the line with the people who just brought 5,000 acres in the state of Georgia because they ain't finna sit there and cry. They did something about it. A couple of black families got together and bought 5,000 acres. They bought the whole goddamn on town. They ain't sit around and cry. They ain't sit around and complain. They bought 5,000 acres. Those are the Negroes I would want to say, you know what? These are my friends, and this what we did. We ain't sit around and cry about it. Yeah, they ain't sit around and cry about it. 70 families brought 5,000 acres of land to create a new town called Freedom, Georgia. Yeah, get me in the line with these type of niggas. I don't want to be in the line with no crybaby ass niggas. Sitting up here talking about older white man, older white man, older white man did it. The white man got him in his butt, just dropped. I don't want to be around them type of niggas. I want to be around niggas that'll go ahead and get goddamn 5,000 acres and build their own shit. I don't want to be around no crybaby nigga talking about the white man got him in his butt, just dropped. Yeah, I want to be around some can-do niggas. I don't want to be around niggas keep telling me the problem all day. Can-do N-words. Yeah, I can't do it. Can do. Is you a can do or a can't do N-word? It's not an opinion or just words. Kirk openly was funded by and defunded what? Apartheid set the stage for prejudice and fear mongering that leads to real death globally. Only a coward mourns him. This don't even make no sense. We're waiting on the video, but salute for the super chat. But we were waiting on the video that shows that in which you speak of. Telling us one thing, that's cool and all, but we want to see it in real time. And the one thing we haven't done is seen it in real time. So respectfully, I can't go with what you just said. I want to see it in real time. But again, so shout out to the families, the 70 families that brought 5,000 acres of land, and they're going to build a new town called Freedom, Georgia. This is what real pro-blackness look like. Not just getting on the goddamn computer saying you pro-black. It's getting together with blacks, not crying, building with blacks. And that way you ain't got to tell nobody you pro-black. You let your actions and your words speak for itself. You ain't got to hurt black. You ain't got to argue with black to prove that you pro-black. You ain't got to cuss a nigga out and fake like you pro-black to me. You got to prove it. And that's what these people have done. This is what black excellence that's not worried about what white folks doing should look like. Can't nobody stop you from building the oasis that you want. America is for sale. Focus your mind and your energy with like-minded thinkers, and you can achieve whatever the hell you want to achieve. And anybody else telling you otherwise, get the hell away from them. They are just miserable. America is a corporation that is for sale. You can create the environment that you choose to live in, and you can choose the people that you choose to live around. This is living proof of it. They're not crying about what no white people are doing. They are building their own town. Now, unlike most of you, I would rather be in the line with people who thinking like this than people who keep telling me about the past and goddamn getting me all emotional. Buying those acres is how it changes. Black ownership starts with this type of move. Hello, and Paul is white saying that. So sitting up here crying to white people, telling them what they did to you ain't gonna change a hill of beans. Doing what these people have done, and salute to all 70 families, and salute to how many other generations and families gonna come behind y'all growing up like this and growing up in a town that y'all create, hopefully as peaceful as possible. But all this drama and back and forth hooting and hollering, if these people can do it, why can't you do it? Why can't you do it? Salute to you, Paul.
Like I said, I'm sorry, I don't want to be here too long.
We are. How about you take responsibility for your own actions instead of blaming the white man?
Next on deck.
Yeah, we don't take responsibility for our actions. I mean, that's such a loaded thing to say.
He didn't say we, sir. He's talking to one in particular individual, and he told the person, which is good advice. He said, how about you take accountability for your actions instead of blaming somebody for your actions? On the surface, that's good advice. He never talked about that person being black or whatever else. So don't say we, because he wasn't talking to me.
When you think, but that's not enough of a reason for me to say some things about him, is it? Oh, no. Patented. That's responsibility for whatever they've done. Has anything to do with the entire group of people. And that, my friends, is patented. That's like textbook. That's like textbook racism. When you think, but that's not enough of a reason for me to say some things about him, is it? Oh, no. You know, frankly, guys, I didn't know I had that many people following me that like Charlie Kirk. It is eye-opening to see so many people were actually following me. They were fans of this guy. I think he did me a favor. Let's keep going. He's got more to say.
With Tim Black.
We note in our piece that Kirk describes King as, quote, a bad guy. It's true. And Kirk self-described very, very radical view that the country made a mistake when it passed the Civil Rights Act. Also true. As we note in the piece, Kirk has previously described Kirk as a hero and a civil rights icon. It's true. I used to be wrong. What inspired Kirk to shift his view on MLK? Why does Kirk think that MLK is a bad guy? When Kirk says that MLK says, quote, one good thing he didn't believe, what does he mean by that? Why does Kirk believe passing the Civil Rights Act was a mistake? Now, again, apparently they don't listen to the show because we do that at least once a week, right? Once a week we talk about why the Civil Rights Act was a mistake.
Yeah, he thinks it's fine. He thinks black people don't deserve civil rights. Wow, I wonder why so many black people are crying.
Wait, why would you stop it before we know what he said about civil rights? What the hell? Let's see. Let's go. Did he say what he was saying about civil rights? 'Cause I don't know what he said about civil rights. He didn't play it.
Shank, I live as a capitalist.
Back with Tim Black.
I live like a capitalist every single day, Shank. I live as a capitalist, okay? I live when I believe. What do? I get charity every single year.
Crime, like, I'm sorry, if I see a black pilot, I'm going to be like, boy, I hope he's qualified. Because of DEI, it begs the question when you see.
This is a shame. And this is how people sway narratives about other people. This is not just a different viewpoint, Chris. And I wish you didn't send me these clips. Not one time did I play Charlie Kirk in a clip up type of fashion like that. That is disingenuous. That doesn't make any sense. And that doesn't mean a hill of beans in the overall context of what someone is trying to say. Clipping them up means you're too afraid to hear what they actually said. You're too afraid to hear what this person is actually saying. So you clip them up. That makes no sense to do that. It makes zero sense to do that. To try to take someone out of context for no reason. All on Charlie Kirk's page, he has all of his stuff of what he's saying. And instead of people doing that, they want to make a student confirms just how bad the college brainwashing machine is. This should be good. But playing clips of someone is clown shit. And I wish we would stop that. Trying to make sure we force the fact that we're going to take a person out of context by only playing a clip of the person and not the full context of what the person was saying or trying to say. And then not having a conversation with a person in a respectful way so that everyone can understand what this person is about and not just attacks and what you think of the person. We never gonna get it that way. We can't be respectful to one another. I can send you a video on what he really was saying. Yeah, send me the video on what he was really saying and not this clipped up ass shit. Thank you. That's weird, man.
All right, here we go.
Hello, Mr. Kirk. I came a long way to see you. Well, I go to school here, but I'm from Texas.
So you like walked across the campus.
This already started off slow. I came a long way to see you. Oh wait, I go to school here, but I'm from Texas. What the hell, boy? You lit? Never mind.
Pretty much. So, I have a definition for you, and then I'll go from there. So, fascism, as described, is a political system based on a very powerful leader, state control, and being extremely proud of the country and race, in which political opposition is not allowed. Now, I am not saying Trump is inherently fascist and the administration is fascist, but what I've been seeing is the introductory steps to fascism. He's tried to make the executive branch more a controlling power and even trying to test the judicial litigants that he appointed. The chief judge had to tell him to rein it in, and he's the one that was appointed by Trump. His own judges are saying, you need to stop this. He's consistently been going against American values that have been in place for hundreds of years and trying to reimagine how the American government should be. How do you feel about that?
No, I mean, I think it's preposterous. I mean, Donald Trump is not a fascist. Let me ask you a question. Do fascists protect freedom of speech?
No, and he hasn't.
Well, hold on. No, he actually has, to such a great extent where he says colleges are not getting money if they don't protect freedom of speech. He's defunding colleges if they don't protect freedom of speech. In fact, Donald Trump has gone out of his way to make sure that all Americans have the freedom of speech. All U.S. citizens do. And so an attribute of fascism is also basically quashing political dissent, as you would say, right? Which political party tried to put the opposition leader in prison for 700 years? Was it Donald Trump or Joe Biden that tried to put his rival in jail for 700 years?
Joe Biden. But
yeah, so would Joe Biden be a fascist then?
No.
But you just said that's a hallmark definition of fascism, quelching political opposition. I will go a step further. Wasn't the Democrat Party acting fascistic by indicting Donald Trump on all these charges the first time in American history to basically eliminate the MAGA movement?
It wasn't to eliminate the MAGA movement, it was get to man. Because Trump himself was doing very shady things. He was having hush money trials, which is true. He's a convicted felon. He tried to keep documents.
Well, he's also your president, so you have to say that as well.
Yes, he is my president.
Okay, good. I mean, again, this whole convicted felon thing is like so preposterous and so ridiculous. But again, your definition of fascism is, as you read it, not just so narrow. Donald Trump is the opposite of that. Do fascists want people to own more guns or less guns?
Less guns.
Yeah, so why would Donald Trump now make it easier for people to own guns then?
But that's not the point.
Well, it is
not
a
everything. That's why I said Trump is not a fascist himself, and this is not a fascist administration. Yeah, there are certain aspects that he's doing that is fascist. He's trying to make a centralized power in the executive branch to control everything that's around him.
It's called the unitary
yes
executive theory is not fascistic. Again, just looking around every corner and acting like that's fascist, that fascist. It's so destructive to our discourse because he's the opposite of such a fascist.
That's why I haven't said he's a fascist.
No, I understand. I know what you're saying. I would not look at a single thing he's done that is even close to fascistic. It's nationalistic.
Which is a definition of fascism.
Not necessarily. You could be a nationalist communist. Not true. The Soviets and the Bolsheviks were nationalist communists. You could be a nationalist and not be a fascist.
But you can argue that the communism that was going on there was not real communism. That's not Marxist's thing. I don't align with communism, but that was more of authoritarian communism.
It was never real communism. That's right.
No, it was not real communism.
We don't agree on this. So what is your then contention?
My contention is that we are approaching a era in America where we are going to be tested. And now we are getting to a point what's almost as modern day tribalism, which is happening in Africa. I am part Ethiopian. My dad was an immigrant here. He came here legally and did all the steps and all that. But just like in Africa with Ethiopia and their government, Tigray, which is a subsection of Ethiopia, is being slaughtered because of tribalism. They're all part of Ethiopia. Ethiopia used to be 3 countries together: Somalia, Eritrea, and Ethiopia. It's modern day tribalism. They split because they didn't want to be part of the tribes anymore. And now we're seeing with the political party so polarized, we don't even want to talk to each other anymore. Which is why I came out here today.
Thank you for that.
I don't think this is a disrespectful dude right here that's talking to Charlie Kirk. And I don't see Charlie Kirk disrespecting this dude. So I don't understand what people are talking about with so much of this disrespect that I don't get it. I don't get why so much outrage. He's having a conversation. I don't know what the outrage is. If somebody could come up and tell me what the outrage is, I'll drop the link.
Just a super interesting hypothetical one about like division and tribalism. Was there a recent time where a Democrat came on campus and just had an open mic where anyone could disagree with them? Are you aware of that kind of an event?
No, this is like one of the first events I've seen.
No, thank you. So the point is it the MAGA movement like myself or Democrats that are inviting discourse and speech to try to find common ground?
Well, I feel that you yourself, Charlie, is a person that invites criticism and stuff.
Thank you for that.
This type of stuff I like. Trump doesn't do that. He doesn't see debate. He more
I
just
would, I
says.
would push back though. It's Donald Trump who will sit in the Oval Office and take questions uninterrupted for 45 minutes when Joe Biden, couldn't even answer a single question. I know that you're not, supporting Joe Biden, but back to your original contention. I need to forcefully push back on this because there is nothing fascistic about deporting people in your country that are here illegally, securing your borders, and putting your own people first. You're right. We are being tested. I think we're being tested in a different way. We're being tested at whether or not, when the American people overwhelmingly vote for something, are they going to get it? And right now, a group of unelected judges and unelected bureaucracy is trying to stop the will of the popular vote of the American people, which I think is way more dangerous than the boogeyman of fascism in our country right now.
Well, I would say that's not really a boogeyman of fascism. It's just fascistic tendencies that are seeming to get more and more consistent with how Trump wants to run his government. And as for the judges, it's checks and balances. They're there to make sure that, hey, let me check this out real quick and go through all the documents our forefathers have written.
No. The founding fathers never gave district court judges nationwide injunction power. This is a new thing over the last 50 years. That's fine. We're not going to agree on a lot, but I will say this, that the criticisms that we are the fascists are laughable, because let me just ask you, and this is just more broadly, and I understand this is not to Trump. How many of you students out there feel as if you'd be graded differently if you come out as a conservative or a Trump supporter? Raise your hand. Look around. Every hand goes up. And so that is the cultural left on Michigan State's campus that will use power to punish a student with their grades because they have different views. That's fascism. That is definitional fascism. And I'm not saying you're defending that, but I want to make sure you're consistent that there are fascistic tendencies more so on the left than anywhere on the right.
Then I want to say this. I am from Texas. We're Southern as it gets, conservative as it gets. No matter how many times my city of Dallas goes blue, Fort Worth goes blue, Houston goes blue, we're always going to be red, and I've accepted that. And I don't mind that. But also
God bless Texas.
God bless Texas. The same thing that happens here happens at campuses over in Texas. Not UT, because that's Austin.
No, for sure. The campuses are islands of totalitarianism. That's my point, is that campuses, because they're so homogenously to the left, that even if you go to Alabama, the same thing happens. It's not a red state or blue state issue. It's that these campuses are super, super far to the left as a posture of just ideological diversity.
I don't believe that. Texas A&M, I have several friends that go there. They're all some of my best friends from high school. Very conservative. I see stuff they post on time all the time.
First of all,
it's not exactly because this school's board. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
It's okay. I got to get to the next question. But 98% of all college professors gave to Kamala Harris. 98% that gave to Kamala Harris. And I don't need to ask the audience because we know it's true. Would you guys say that most professors are conservative or liberal here? Would you say they're liberal?
Professors, not the people in power. The school boards.
The administration.
Yeah, the administration of the school is what makes the decision. We have a student body here that makes resolutions and says things to the student board. They never listen.
Doesn't the governor appoint the board of regents in Michigan? Is it elected? Okay, well then I don't know what the balance is in Michigan.
Exactly, it's elected here. So someone can run on a completely random issue. Like I remember someone ran because they wanted to reinstate the swim team. There's no swim team here.
Okay.
It's stuff like that. They get.
I'm lost. Both of these individuals did a great job of just having a conversation, especially around a touchy subject like politics. So I'm lost on why everybody's so upset. Maybe in the last couple of seconds, Charlie gonna curse them out. So let me finish the video. I don't know.
Elected.
But maybe we should bring back the swim team. Is that fascism? I don't know. So.
But they get elected and then they don't do stuff that's consecutive to the university. They more try to silence stuff. There's a bunch of stuff that's happened on this campus that many people may not know, and they send ambiguous emails and stuff. It's stuff like that. It's not just this university.
No, that's not my
every
contention.
university
I just
has
want to
its
make.
own type of atmosphere.
My takeaway for you is if you're going to try to be pattern recognition with Trump for fascism, look at the American left and do the same. Try to say, because for example, I mean, something that I think is inherently fascistic and disgusting is when Tim Walz is out there cheering for Tesla's stock price to go down. I mean, it's awful, right? I mean, who does something like that? You disagree with a company and you want to see a bunch of people go out of work?
The same way Trump promoted Teslas by having them on the lawn?
Yeah, what's wrong with that? That's more American jobs, more American labor. No, it's the opposite.
That's promoting the stock because people are going to see people in the modern movement love Trump and want to do stuff that's like him. It's psychology.
One is good for America, more American jobs, more American labor. Tim Walz is cheering for a factory to close. He's cheering for people to go out of work, which I find to be really disturbing. Thank you for your time. I got the next question.
Yeah, they want people to get out of work so they can be controlled by the government. But listen here, man. I don't see the young man in my chat that was supposed to be bringing all the documentation. But if he's in the chat, just let me know you're in the chat so I can see all of your documentation that you wanted to bring up. If not, I can get ready for this fight that's about to come on. Just let me know, because I think yeah, I think if you want to hit the link, we can have a conversation. But I don't see the dude that we talked the last time. But let me drop the link just because I don't see him. Doesn't mean that he's not in the chat. Who you got, Crawford or Canelo? I can't go against Crawford. That boy done been shot in the head, man. Man, still whooping butt. 2-time undefeated. I think he gonna put Canelo in that blender. I think if he can figure him out and keep him at bay, Floyd Mayweather kept him at bay, even though they put a smaller ring and all kind of things involved to try to take away from Crawford. I still think he can pull it off. He's athletic. He's strong. Great fighter. But yeah, I don't see dude. So, and hopefully he kept Canelo away from that goddamn cow meat. That meat that turned him into an untamed gorilla. Shit, I could eat some of that meat and knock somebody's ass out power. But listen, man, I'm gonna go ahead and go. Nobody hit the link. Man, we had 40 super chats, man. I appreciate all y'all, man. I'm up out of this thing. Let's go watch Bud. I'm gone.